All right, everybody. It is on the nose, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday for the very first Groove Digital Presents. And if you're on this call right now, 163 are you on right now as the room is filling up? Let you know what Groove Digital Presents is. We plan on doing it on average every Friday at 2 o'clock, but if we don't have a guest, there won't be one. There won't be a group digital present. So, as you know, we are committing to doing training presentations for you by our staff every Tuesday on digital marketing and every Thursday on e-commerce marketing. And we're also going to be starting the Facebook Lives, the daily how-to Facebook Lives, where we just show up random. On top of that, we are bringing on experts. Groove Digital presents an expert, and we plan to do this every Friday, maybe more sometimes, maybe less. We could go sometimes a month without getting a guest on because this is kind of like a booking process and a vetting process and making sure the person that we are bringing on, that he or she is worthy of of, of your attention and the information that they can teach and that they can train is applicable to the business model and the standards that we set forth here at Groove Digital. So, having said that, here's what you can expect on Groove Digital Presents on Friday. You can expect a top quality expert in the industry, either a leader or an underground rock star. And these people are doing techniques in their business and or training people to some extraordinary results that are replicable and that can be done uh, in your business as well. Now, having said that, in order for us to get some top quality people, obviously, people will say, "Hey, well, what's in it for me to come on and do that time?" And we say, "Well, look, it's a quid pro quo. Here's the deal: you cannot do a pitch webinar in the sense that you come on and from the very get-go, you're pitching and pitching and pitching. Here's what you do: you can come on. We're asking you to give at least 1 hour of presentation, course quality presentation that we can clip the video and put that into Groove Digital Academy that people can learn your particular skill. A minimum. Now you can go an hour and 15 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever you like, but it has to be pure content. And then at the end of that time, the quid pro quo is for everyone, right? Thank you for showing us that great stuff. And now we allow that presenter to do some branding and say, okay, folks, if you like that stuff and you like what I do, here's some of the stuff I can do. And the other thing that we're doing is anybody that comes on and does in their branding make an offer to you, we're asking for an exclusive discount only for the members of Groove Digital Presents. So you can expect an incredible discount as opposed to what they're doing on other people's uh, on their own websites or if they're doing a webinar with somebody else. So having said that, if that's cool with you, tune in on Fridays and come in. If that's not cool with you, then just come for the Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm promising you that the people that we're bringing on are going to be some incredible people. I'll probably record this and play it at the beginning of every call because I'm sure that there are new people coming on every week, and it's important that you know that. And again, if you don't want to hear the branding offer at the end, by all means, stay until that point and you can bounce out and nobody will be upset and you can take the content, take notes, and put it into your business. But we are going to make sure that by the time that Paul says, Mike, is it okay if I talk about my program? That he has earned the right from you to do that. He'll probably even ask you if you felt that the information that you got here was worthy of your time, and is it okay if he shares that? So do me a favor, everybody, before I introduce our superstar, who you probably know because of the information that we gave you. I'm just going to open my questions tab here, and that would be questions. Let's pop that out. If you can do me a favor, if that sounds pretty cool to you, that we'll be doing this on Fridays to getting you some leaders in the industry, put a one in the chat if that type of deal sounds cool. So my goodness, you guys are awesome. So I believe it's Gregory King starts with a Coolio, and then from Yoshi down to Sandra Thomas Berenger Stewart, all of you people Oh my goodness, it's like almost everybody in the room, and you know what happens when I start reading the names. I feel like if I've done 10, I need to do every. So we got 241 people in the room, so we're gonna leave it as that. But we've got a lot of sounds great ones. Thank you. One is amazing. Okay, by me. You guys are just awesome. Donna and I actually talk about like what a wonderful family we are, how engaged this team is with our Facebook group and our customers, because you just make us want to, we want to put smiles on your face, and you put smiles on our face. So let's talk about who our guest is, who our very first introductory Groove Digital Presents speaker and presenter is today. It is the one and only Paul Murphy. Now, Paul Murphy is an underground marketer, meaning he shows up at events and people sit around him and take notes. But at the end of the day, he's not the guy that has the speaking circuit and going out there. He's not quote unquote a guru. So Paul Murphy is our number 3 affiliate of all time, and he is our number 1 non-launch affiliate of all time. Meaning, Paul doesn't, go out there and email his entire list. So when you take away somebody doing a launch and just doing consistent organic sales, we go back between 2 people, Paul Murphy and Tim Verdu. And we want to basically get Tim on next week or in 2 weeks for you. And Tim, I believe you might be on the call. I hope you are. We want to talk about that. I know you do some pretty incredible things on a different end than what Paul does, and it's some good stuff. But what Paul also has some accolades to his name. And I will put an asterisk next to this because this is my belief. Paul was also the number 1 affiliate of all time for Genesis Digital, meaning Webinar Jam, EverWebinar, and Kartra. And as many of you know, that's my old company. I sold my stake in that in 2016. If you take out all the people that that did launches and emailed their list, and the type of affiliate that you want is someone like Paul Murphy that says, okay, well, I'm going to show up on your leaderboard, but guess what? I'm never going away. I know how to do a simple little hack that takes me all of about an hour, and I can become the number 1 Evergreen affiliate, or number 2 or number 3, but let's just say the top 5, the number and the top 5 affiliate for any brand out there in terms of an evergreen, which means Paul will tell you this is called mailbox money. You do something one time, and every month you go out and check your mailbox, so to speak, or your PayPal account, and there's free money forever. Meaning it doesn't take anything else other than planting the seeds, letting the grass grow, and maybe just trimming the lawn every now and then, just to make sure you're doing the right things in case some competitors come up. So I don't want to steal the thunder on any of his slides. So with that said, if you would like to know that from the person that says, I'm going to become a top 5 affiliate evergreen to get mailbox money, do me a favor. This is our way of making a round of applause. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to learn these secrets from Paul, and then we're going to have Paul share his screen. I'm going to mute myself and do a little bit of color commentary here and there. I've learned over the years what really ruins the flow of a presentation is when the person that has asked the speaker to come on stops at every bullet point and every slide and starts saying, Paul, I've also noticed, like in our company, we do the same thing, and it just takes the rhythm away from the speaker. So what we're going to do is, we promise to bring you an expert. We're going to let them do their thing. I may go completely radio silent for the entire call until the end, until the Q&A, if Paul is doing a great job. If I hear him do something like EPC and not elaborate on it, I might pop in and say, hey, Paul, can you do me a favor? For the people that don't know, can you explain EPC? But other than that, I'm going to be staying out. Now, we got tons of ones in there. So, Paul, I'm going to have you take it away here, buddy. Everybody is really excited. We have 281 people on this starter Groove Digital Presents for us. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you have the ability to share your screen right now? Is it being shared? I'm not even looking.
I think it's being shared, actually. Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I see it there.
Good, I see you.
Okay, very good, everybody. Give it up.
Hey guys, how's
Murphy.
it going?
Take it away.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks ever so much. So yeah, hi. So I'm super proud to be the first of Groove Digital Presents. So hopefully we'll kick it off with a good start. But also, I just want to thank everyone for turning up today. So thanks for taking a bit of time out of your day to check this out. So I'm like really excited to show you this. I've been kind of like tweaking it and working this training all week. And as Mike said, this is not going to be a pitch webinar. What I'm actually going to do is give you some solid training. So I've kind of put together some of my ninja stuff so that you guys can go and implement it in your business straight away. And I have actually put together an offer at the end. So as Mike said, obviously, if I give you solid training, then we can obviously go there. If not, we're more than happy just to leave it there, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna obviously not tell you what I had for breakfast. Oh, hang on, this is not moving. There we go. I'm obviously not going to tell you guys what I had for breakfast or anything like that. But you guys don't know me. Like some of you guys do know me, but some of you really don't, right? You've never heard of me. So it is kind of important that I, let you know a little bit about who I am, but not just that, like why I'm qualified to show you this. So, if I go back a few years now, right, my life sucked pretty bad. Like I left school at 16. I had no qualifications. I got fired from my first job because I wasn't very good. And I was brought up on a rough council estate. This is actually my house here that I was brought up in. I was actually bullied a bit at school. I had ADHD, which meant which kind of went undiagnosed because back then they didn't even have a thing for it. And no one in my family actually wanted me to like stay over because I was a good kid, but I was just a bit too hard to handle, sort of thing. So yeah, I was like, no, you keep him, So unfortunately as well, my dear brother passed away in 2017. He was only 50 years old, and he had drug and alcohol addictions. And I also nearly lost everything I had a few years ago. I was actually flat broke from 2013 to 2017. So for 4 years straight, I literally had no money, nothing. And so obviously, just so you guys know, like I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. If anybody here has been struggling or been struggling in the past, I promise you I've been there. Like I literally suffered with depression, like you name it. I've kind of like been through a few things in my time. So this is like a picture of my insurance. Like I used to work in insurance, in a sort of previous life. And I can remember like sort of walking around in my lunch hour and thinking like, is there any way I can start a business? Like I want to kind of build a better life for myself. I want to kind of do something. And working like this was like home and motor insurance, right? So like doing that, I didn't really have a skill set that I could take and do anything. So at one point, I just bought a domain name, I threw up a website, and I added it to a few online directories. And it ranked. It took about 2 or 3 months to rank, but when it ranked on Google, and it was pretty easy back then. And this is actually, I found this on the Wayback Machine. This is actually a screenshot of my original business idea. So I was going to be a wedding planner, right? I know, yeah. I can hear your thoughts there. And you can actually see here, it says here that I was going to do it for free. So what I was actually going to do was see if I could team up with suppliers and get a cut, right? That was kind of my initial thought idea. Obviously, I had no idea what I was doing. Somebody came in the office with her daughter. She started asking me questions about matching drapes with napkins and things like that. I went as white as a sheet and I was like, I really don't want to ruin your daughter's wedding. But the actual website was getting all this traffic. And I put this little thing here. And I mentioned this to Mike actually a couple of weeks ago and he remembers it. So this was like a little globe tracker that you could put on. It was like a little free tracker. And I put it on and it let me know where all the traffic was coming from. So because of that, I could phone up people in those areas or contact them, email them. And I hadn't really got a clue what I was going to do, right? I just sort of contacted them and said, look, is there any way I can help your businesses? And some of them would thought I was trying to sell advertising space, which I probably was, but I didn't know I was because I was just asking them, right? So they said no. And the other ones were like, well, I'm not going to pay you anything. And then this one company said to me, well, what we'll do is if you want to send us some traffic, if you kind of just want to put a link to us, we will ask them where they're from, where they've actually come from. If they've come from your website, we'll put a little note on a piece of paper and we'll mark it to you. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. So I didn't really think much of it. So I put their number on the website. And then I remember coming in the next day and who remembers PayPal when it looked like this? So yeah, I came in the next day and I logged into my PayPal account, and I'll never forget it. I saw £350, was like about $500 sitting there, right? Just sitting there in my PayPal account. And I was like, hang on a minute. Like my house that I showed you, like when I actually bought that off my mum with my girlfriend, we actually had to rent out the rooms to pay the bills. I had to work weekends. So I'd always traded time for money, right? Like like an hourly rate. And there it was, like I had this £350 sitting in my account, and I was kind of like just staring at it. I was like, what on earth, going on here, sort of thing. So anyway, like this was not the first, like this was the first, but this was the first of many. So like this money was sort of coming in, and it was like coming in every week. And soon I was like earning like 4 times as much as I was in my job. And to be honest, my job was fairly low paid, but I was kind of like quadrupling my money with this money that was coming in. And of course, I was completely hooked. I went all in. And what I'd actually done is I had sort of unwittingly, I'd discovered affiliate marketing. And I don't even remember it being a phrase back then, but I literally just sort of fallen into it because I had this kind of realization of a website with traffic but nothing to do with it, and then somehow I kind of discovered affiliate marketing. It was a bit weird, really. So yeah, and then so what I did was I started ranking these websites and I started putting them up, and I was putting, and I was using this I was using this thing called Microsoft Front Page. I don't know if any of you guys ever remember it, but if you can imagine trying to build a website in Microsoft Word, right? Imagine that, right? In today with what we've got. So that was it, right? I had to sort of basically build this thing, and the only difference between that and Word it allowed it to publish to the web, right? You could actually publish it. And I was putting up these websites, and to be honest, they looked pretty diabolical, but it didn't really matter back then because we could kind of get away with it, right? But anyway, I was putting these websites up, and I was coming up with like different products in different niches. And then I come up with the idea to sell them. So what I would do is I'd get these websites, I would rank them on the search engine, I'd phone up a few companies, so I'd get some affiliate marketing going, some passive income on these websites, right? I'd send them the traffic, they'd pay me a commission. But I couldn't sell them like that because most people didn't really kind of clue themselves into what Google could do for their business. So what I actually did was, to make it like a sellable package, I got some print advertising, because back then print advertising was the big thing. So I'd give them a website, I'd have a product sort of lined up so that they could earn some passive income. They would have all this organic traffic, and they would have this print advertising. And what I would do is I'd choose a page in that niche, and I would split it into 4. So I'd sell 4 of these, right? And then I would be able to sell it a lot cheaper than they'd get if they went directly to the publisher. So I was kind of selling these things, and they were like flying off like hotcakes. And Flipper didn't exist back then. I'm sure some of you have heard of this. This is like a buy and sell type website type domain, but the domain that I used at the time doesn't exist anymore. But I'm just putting that there as a sort of example. But it was kind of like Flipper, right? So I was basically selling these websites and I was selling them as like a full big business package to people who didn't really have time to run a side business. So it's like a little passive income side business. So I was doing this for a few years, and I was making good money. And I was actually at the Ideal Home exhibition with my girlfriend at the time in 2007. And I was with my mum, and we were sort of looking at these funky those funky showers and those jacuzzis and those fitted kitchens and things like that. And we were just sort of walking around, and I had a little office up the road here, and I had this chap called Lee working with me, and he kept phoning me up, and he was like, Paul, I've sold another one. Paul, I've sold another one. Paul, I've sold another one. And this one day, we managed to turn over $100,000 in one day. So obviously, like, I was off to the races, but the only thing I really had that allowed all the rest of that business to happen was I had the ability to get traffic on the front page of Google, right? So that's kind of important, because what happened was, times were good. I was making good money, and what Google's #1 priority is to stay the #1 search engine, and the only way it's ever going to stay the #1 search engine, if you think about it, is by giving you what's relevant. So when you put a search in Google, you obviously want to make sure it's relevant. Now, what actually happened was everybody was sort of jumping on the bandwagon, and I sort of got caught in the crossfire, even though my websites were kind of relevant, in fact, very relevant. But, I was getting caught in the crossfire of this, because what happened was that people were gaming Google. Google was starting to lose its status as the #1 search engine, because people were going searching for things and coming up with all sorts. They'd put in a search for a cat, and they'd get underwater basket weaving website or something like that, right? So that, yeah, so basically they then put these, the search engine was basically hitting all the sites hard. So my sites went from the top of Google to like page 5, and then like the weirdest thing happened. It's like this cat and mouse game. So the first thing was is that I don't want to get into any techno babble, but what happened was that Google started applying all these penalty slaps. So they had one called a panda penalty slap, they had one called a penguin penalty slap, and all of these things basically were designed to stop you getting near the top of the search engine, basically. And also, it was right for Google to do this because they were trying to stay a relevant search engine. They didn't want people gaming the system. The only way you could get anywhere near the top of the search engine was, to play the game in a way, so you kind of like, but you didn't want to be irrelevant, but you kind of, there was no other way. It was kind of really hard. And there was all these weird strategies going around. And then we was playing this cat and mouse game. And then eventually it happened. Like one day I woke up, the ones that had been relegated from 1 to 5 literally had all been delisted. So my entire network was basically taken away from me. And I'd never forget it. I feel sick thinking about it. But basically what that meant was my business was gone because that was the only thing I really had that allowed everything else to happen. So my business literally dried up overnight. And from there until about 2013, I just lived off my savings day to day, like on the breadline. I remember like my friends phoning me up and I was like too proud to tell them I didn't have enough money. So I'd just say like, sorry, I can't come out tonight. But I couldn't actually afford to go out. So yeah, and also because of this sort of cat and mouse game, it was a no wonder that most businesses I knew gave up on SEO because it came way too difficult. And today, if you want to actually play the SEO game and try and rank websites on Google, like page 1 for a lot of niches is sewn up. It's almost impossible. Like you guys that have done SEO, I'm sure you know about this. SEO, by the way, sorry, is search engine optimization. If you've not heard that term, just means that you're trying to rank a website on Google, right? So yeah, a lot of websites gave up on that, and and to be honest, even if you do, you kind of have to wait about 6 months, and then you're kind of looking at getting at the bottom of page 1. To be honest, you might as well be on page 5 because the top of Google gets 70% of all the search clicks. If you didn't know that, you can go and check it out. So yeah, so basically, I was faced with losing my home. So in 2013, my business had gone basically. I didn't really know what else to do, so I was trying all these different things. I can remember discovering WordPress and thinking, oh my god, this is amazing, and trying to put up websites. And then I had to go at drop shipping, which is basically where you sell stuff from China, where you don't have the inventory in you basically sell it from China. I'm sure some of you know it. And I tried all these different things, and I was like going nowhere fast. So yeah, I was going to have to go and do something really kind of quite bad. I was going to have to go and get a real job. No. So yeah, so I kind of started looking for work because I was like, that was it. I was too proud to get a job, but I had to, right? So I was going to like, okay, I'm going to have to do this. Anyway, so what actually happened was in the middle of around sort of 2016, 2017, I noticed something, and it was clear as day on the search engines. Okay, and it was this carousel. So you've seen it when you log into Google and you start searching for products and services. You'll see it. Like some of you probably not even aware that you're seeing it all the time, but you're clicking these videos, guys. You are clicking them. I'm going to show you in a minute how, why. But I started seeing all these listings showing up. Okay, so these are some of mine, but obviously back then it was like I'd put in a product or a service or anything really, and this would just appear right at the top. Now, straight away that sparked my imagination. I was like, hang on a minute, like, is this a way that I can now get at the top of Google? And like, the thing to note here as well is that this was with a billboard, right? So if you actually go and advertise on Google, you can't get these billboards. And not only that, these were like coming up number 1, 2, and 3, right? So this was taking up virtually all of the page when you put in a search. So this was kind of like the most dominant thing you could see.
Hey,
And
Paul. Hey, Paul.
yeah,
I'm just going to chime in here.
yeah,
What I find is fascinating. I'm going to stay
mm,
away from any teasers or anything like that. I just love the fact that you're like screaming in with your hands out, like, oh my God, and all these pictures. I know you're going to get into all these different things, but I
yeah,
really
sure.
want to drill down here that, like, if you look at the middle one on the top, the only thing above you is somebody paying for that traffic. So that's not a natural search listing. So
Yeah,
so literally the 3 pictures of you there those are natural listings. You didn't pay to be there, I believe. You'll let us know. Um, and
No,
you
no,
are
you
in
don't pay a
position. Yeah,
penny.
right. That's the whole point of this call. And you're in
Yeah,
position 1, 2, and 3. We have to look at that as three separate listings. Now that could be three different people, you and two other people, or
yeah,
you and one other person that has it twice. But whatever the case is, you're dominating 3 times. I'm sure you're going to tell that. But here's again the point that
yeah,
I'm breaking in here, folks, is Paul just said that if you're down at the bottom on the first page, you might as well not even be there. And as we
yeah,
all know, when we search, if we don't find the answer we're looking for in the first 2 links, we revise our search. That is how finicky and how smart Google is. So he's showing you right now how important this is, how he ranks not number one in Google, but number 1, 2, and 3 with basically, as he said, billboards. And so I'm gonna let you get back to it. But the key points here are, even if you're looking at some of these and you're saying, well, it's kind of like in fourth place. No, he's competing in many cases either with ads or the main company's listing, and people don't want that. They want the
mm,
review. If you look on the
yeah,
first one, there's an ad, there's Groove JV, which is us, right? People could have typed that in. They know that we exist, but now he's in really the first 3 positions outside of the brand, or the first 3 positions for free. So go back, Paul. This is just
yeah.
fantastic
Sure.
stuff.
No, yeah. Well said. Yeah, no, that's it basically. And I'm not. The thing is, when I saw it, I wanted in because I knew my entire business before it had dried up was at the top of Google. As soon as I got relegated, as Mike said, to the bottom of page 1 or 5 or wherever, I was like, I was making nothing, and I couldn't ethically sell these because print advertising had long gone, right? Print advertising's worthless, and these listings. This is the first time I ever saw a sort of opening at the top of Google. There is no other way to get there. If you want to try and rank a website, I'm actually going to explain to you in a minute as well that you're actually going to get less amount of the traffic anyway from websites going forward. But if you want to rank a website, this is, so I could see this. I was like, I want in, right? So, of course, the first thing I did was I got on the phone to my ad manager, and I'm like, because at the time I was running Facebook ads, Google ads, you name it, right? So I got on the phone to my ad manager and I said, look, can I buy these listings? Because I'd never seen it before. It just started appearing. And he said, no, these are free. These are organic listings. And he said, you can get in there for free if you can work out to give Google's algorithm what it wants to place you in there. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he said, hang on a minute. He said, the other thing is, is that if you make those relevant, they're going to stay there. And I sort of stopped for a second and I thought, hang on a minute, did he just say to me that I can get free evergreen ads at the top of Google and keep them there without spending a single penny, but with a billboard? Because these thumbnails are actually billboards, right? And I was kind of like, hang on a minute, this sounds a bit too good to be true. But obviously I didn't know how to do it, right? So the first thing I did was I thought, right, I'm going to get that one guru. I'm going to hire that one person. And bearing in mind I was broke as well at the time, you name some of the biggest gurus, I've probably spoken to them. So I was getting on the phone to them and I was asking them, and I was half expecting them to say, sorry, Paul, buddy, this is sewn up. You've got no chance. No. But actually what really happened was 2 things. The first thing that happened was that nobody knew how to do it. Not one of them. But the weirdest thing was, the second thing was, is that none of them really cared. And I was like saying, but you don't understand, this is the top of Google. And they said, yeah, well, we're doing Facebook now. And I was like, but hang on a minute, Google's still #1 search engine on the planet. Everybody's still going to Google to look for products and services. It's like you can go and check it anywhere. It's like #1. Yeah, we're doing Facebook now. It's like, what? So it's like the weirdest thing. And the weirdest thing is that hardly, unless I've actually shown people this, hardly anybody knows this. That's the kind of weird thing about it. So I obviously at this point I'm like stuck, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to be the one to do it, right? I'm going to have to go all in, and I'm going to have to try and figure this out. And so I spent sort of like, I just went straight down in the trenches, and I literally just went all in, trying to figure this out, just like literally kind of working with the algorithm, all white hat, not trying to game the system, because this is giving Google what it wants, not trying to be all like underhanded or anything, just literally going all in. And this is why I'm really proud to be the first of Groove Digital Presents guys, because I actually have cracked it, and I'm going to show you how to do it today, right? So guys, a little bit of engagement would be good, right? So just give me a 1 if you're excited to see how this works. Just give me a 1 if you kind of want me to get into that. Yeah, lots of ones. Yeah, I can say, cool, crikey, yeah. Okay, so guys, I never actually designed this system to
Did
show
you
to
just say
anyone.
crikey? Did you just say
Huh?
crikey? Did you just say
Crikey, yeah,
crikey?
that's a British
Yeah,
term, crikey.
they blew it up here. Totally blew it up here. So yeah, let's rock and roll. Now we understand the concept. Let's get
Yeah.
to the ingredients. Go for it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so cool. So I actually never designed this to show to anyone. As you saw from those listings there, you can actually see this is my business. This is actually 90% of what I do. And as Mike said, I am the top affiliate in the past 18 months for Cart Truck, Webinar Jam, and Ever Webinar. What's really interesting about this is that I've never spent a single penny on ads. And these are high ticket SaaS companies, right? SaaS being that they're, like they've got recurring monthly, it's like monthly membership, and they're online, right? SaaS being online. Because of that, the cost to acquire a customer for these big companies is quite a lot. Anybody who does advertising for this will know that. Generating business for these big SaaS companies is going to cost you quite a lot of money. And I actually know some of these guys in this, in this top 10, and they're spending a lot of money because I know what they're spending. And yeah, like I said, what's interesting is I'm not spending a single penny. Okay, and also we've got this plugin that we can put in YouTube, and it'll actually tell you who the top channel creator is for certain products and terms, and it's also going to tell you who the top creator is for the term. And I think you'll all recognize the one on the right there, right? But yeah, I mean, these are some of the most competitive products being marketed today, and according to YouTube's API, which is their kind of the data that they release, I'm the top channel creator, and not only that, but I'm also the top for these search terms. So yeah, so obviously because of this, this has kind of reignited my business, and I literally just started doing it with affiliate marketing. So I've now been able to create an amazing lifestyle business. So I'm not going to show you a Lamborghini, but I actually did fly a chipmunk once, which is kind of cool. I did a bit of diving on the Barrier Reef. I did a champagne breakfast in the Grand Canyon. And this is actually opposite my flat. So I've actually managed to pay off my mortgage for this is $1 million apartment. And I actually went into the bank, and they were a little bit like, well, hang on a minute, what's this? And they thought I'd sort of something dodgy was going down, because I just went in to pay off the whole mortgage cash, and they all sort of gathered around me. And the manager said to me, what do you do? I said, I just put products at the top of Google. And he was like, well, how do you do that? But yeah, this is opposite my flat. This was an old bandstand, but they actually did it up recently. And I took this because it has that sort of vanilla-y type sky. So yeah, anyway, just thought I'd show you that. I thought it'd be something nice to look
Paul, I see the genuine smile
at.
on your face of
Cool.
pride and achievement. And I want to look at what a regular guy Paul is, right? Paul is just a regular guy. So what he's telling you is a regular guy story, not a guru story. When I walked in
No.
to create my bank account, and literally felt like a kid to create MikeFilsame.com, and what do I need to put in $500 and all that. And as the time went on, I remember when the lady that helped me with my account, she walked over and she said, Mike, can you have a seat? I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I do wrong? And she wasn't talking to me at the time. It was Citibank, from Citibank. She was talking to me as the lady behind the counter, saying, I remember when you opened this up, you were telling me what you're doing. You have several $100,000 in your bank account, and like you have employees coming in to do deposits for you. What's happened? And I just had to smile like Paul did. I was like, oh, like I just wanted to tell my story. Like, it's the
Yeah.
internet, baby. It works. But so I understand that feeling, Paul, of achievement, and being like, yeah, I know, my account might tell me you're crazy, get the write off and everything like that. You're like, nope, I'm going to take money out of the bank and I'm paying cash for my home, because I'm going to eliminate that worry from my life forever. So props to
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah. Mike and I have been on the phone a bit over the last few weeks, and we've been comparing stories as well. So it's been quite interesting. We both actually started our business in 2002. But one of us went on to be an amazing software developer. I'm still working on that one. I'll catch up with him one day. Who knows? Eh? But yeah, so basically, yeah. So I just wanted to show you some more. This is just one product. For sensitivity, I'm not really allowed to show you the actual product, but this is just one of the products that I promote. But as you can see, like, I was obviously just doing this for myself. And then my friend Marcus, he literally launched his podcast, and he could see what I was doing. And when I first moved down to Brighton, because we both come from North Essex, when we first moved down, we shared a flat together. So he knew what I was doing, and he knew the struggles I was going through trying to get these websites at the top of Google. And when he saw what I was doing, he was like, "Well, can you come around and put my podcast on the front page of Google?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And he was like, so I went round to his apartment, and then I kind of worked a bit of magic. And like 5 minutes later, I actually got him some listings at the top of Google and YouTube. Now, what was really interesting about that is his jaw literally dropped. He was like, "What? Are you Houdini or something like that?" And then he said something to me that I didn't really like consider at this point. He just said to me, he said, "You should be showing people this. This is going to help an awful lot of people." So I was like, I couldn't, like, hadn't even occurred to me to even do that. So okay, all right, let's give it a go. See if it's a fluke that I've done him and I've managed to rank his websites, or his videos for his website, and I've managed to do it for me. Can I do it for anyone else? So I thought, okay. So this is Todd, and he was the first client that I started working with, and I put an ad up, and he hired me, and then we went to work. And literally, he'd never done anything like this before, so that's kind of important to know. And he was going nowhere fast. He was literally, he'd been trying everything. So we chose an affiliate product, and we did a 2-week channel review. And once, like, when we had to look at what we'd actually done, so bearing in mind this was a brand new channel, never done anything like this before, excuse me. And he did this brand new channel review, and he had created 13 videos. But what was really interesting about this is he'd got 1,500 views, and these are targeted views, right? He had 17 #1 rankings at the top of Google and YouTube, two biggest search engines on the planet, obviously. And he had 72 page 1 listings. And he actually left me a review after 2 weeks because he was completely blown away. And when he went through his review, he said that I actually missed a few. I actually did this channel review, but I actually missed a few. So he had actually got more than I had actually found, which is kind of crazy. So I sort of went on this journey. I thought, well, if Todd's now like crushing it with his YouTube channel. So I then decided to start helping more people. And so far, in the last 18 months, I've helped hundreds of people. And I've got, like, obviously lots and lots of case studies, and like people absolutely crushing it with this system. So I'll get into that a little bit later and show you a bit more about that. But what I actually did by actually helping people with this system, as I was kind of training people and understanding, I discovered that because I couldn't really turn a profit in business, and I noticed that some of the patterns that people were falling into, I actually discovered that you could make these 4 fundamental, and I call them pattern shifts, because there's a lot of traps that people are falling into with marketing. And if you make a few pattern shifts, you can actually change your trajectory. So, and we've worked out that by implementing this with my students, they're able to literally turn it on its head. So, and that's what I'm going to go through with you today, right? So first of all, I actually now have reduced all of my marketing costs to 0. So I never spend a penny of my own money on ads ever again. Okay, so that's the first pattern shift. And number 2 is that I now put all of my products in front of actual red hot buyers. So, there's lots of advertising platforms out there. Some of them are really powerful, and I'm never going to diss on them because there's, and I'll obviously explain how I use them to maximum effect. But if you put your products in front of buyers, you've got a powerhouse, right? And also, I'm easily able to outsell vendors using, I'm going to sort of tease this one, but this is called the power of 3. And this is something that we reverse engineered when we discovered something that was happening with our marketing as well. And what I actually did was I put together a simple, I call it magic. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it's actually is quite a magic 5-step set and forget system that anyone can do, which means that you don't need to put any maintenance in. Once you've set it up, it just runs like clockwork for you, and you don't need to do anything else. And this is what we're going to go through today. So first of all, guys, I just want to obviously let you know that results are not typical. There's always a bit of hard work involved. Obviously, you're all adults. We all know that. But there's no such thing as a magic unicorn spitting out money, right? You know that. But secondly, on top of that as well, there's no such thing as get rich quick, and I would never teach it. I like to be as ethical and upfront with everybody as possible. So obviously, I just want to put that in. That's a disclaimer. But having said all that, right, who should you actually learn from? Okay, now I see a lot of people falling into a lot of traps with online marketing, and that's why I wanted to throw this in, because the first thing if you're going to actually learn from anybody, they must know how to do it. Okay, so that's a check for me, because obviously this is what I do for a living, right? They must know how to teach it. So far, I've taught nearly 1,600 people, so that's a check for me, right? And the people they've taught, this is the most important one, they must have gone on to have incredible success. And like I'm going to be showing you, and I've showed you already, we've got case study after case study after case study. So that's a check. So if if you learn something here today and you want to implement this, or if you go and look at something else, just make sure you obviously get that, guys, because if somebody's regurgitating a course that they've learned over there, it's unlikely you're going to get serious results, because you want to make sure that they're actually doing it and they know what they're saying. And there's a lot of that going on, I think, in this industry. So yeah, hopefully you guys are all ready to jump in. I actually asked you if you were ready to jump in a bit earlier, so we'll go past this slide pretty quickly, right? So, okay, what you're actually thinking now is, what do you need to start with? What do you actually need to get started? So you're probably thinking you need a website. No. You're probably thinking you need, a bit of money for budget for ad spend or for marketing. No. You're probably thinking you need tech skills, or you need to sort of have, be a bit of a ninja, know a bit of coding, or know at least how to work your way around a few different things. No, don't need to know any of that. You're probably thinking you need a product or a service or something like that. Well, actually, no, we do this for affiliate marketing, so you can do the same. So you don't even need a product. You're probably thinking you need software. Well, yes, you need Groove Pages, but apart from that, no, you don't need anything, right? You actually don't need Groove Pages, but I throw that in because this is I'm on Mike's call, right? So, but you actually don't need any software or anything like that, right? And you're probably thinking, oh, you must, need some sales skills. You must need to do selling. Well, absolutely not. In fact, any sort of infomercial type selling or anything like that is not going to get you far fast. In fact, all we do is build know, like, and trust with what we do. So no, and you definitely don't need to be Superman or sort of anything like that, right? So that being said, who can use this system? So if you're affiliate marketer, yeah. If you've got Shopify or e-commerce or absolutely anything you want to sell online, big tick. If you're a coach or a consultant, if you want to actually get rid of your clients and maybe switch to affiliate marketing or something like that, so it's a little bit hands off. If you've got anything to sell, if you want to free up time, if you're an agency owner, if you're brand new, in fact, if you want to build any exposure online, you can use this system. You can literally put anything you can think of at the top of Google in front of anyone you want, right? I actually helped somebody recently with a charity because they weren't looking to make money as such, but they wanted to get exposure for their charity, right? So what we're going to do now is go straight into the pattern shift. So the pattern shift number one is, how did I manage to reduce all my marketing costs to zero? So what I actually did was, we actually noticed that there was a few traps that people were falling into. And there's a lot of people failing at marketing. So to actually answer that question, we have to sort of reverse engineer it a little bit. One of the facts are that ad prices have been increasing. Like on Facebook, I think they've been increasing nearly 100% year on year for the last 5 years. And because of that, there's obviously way too much competition. There's a bit of a red ocean, right? Ad accounts are getting banned. They had that Cambridge Analytica scandal last year. So a lot of big accounts have been taken away, and ads are not getting approved. This seems to be a big problem at the moment as well. But this is one of the big ones. Like 540,000 new online businesses started in 2019, and typically, if you look at the success rate over the last 5 years, only 1% of all online businesses succeed. And one of the biggest problems is that most people do not even put their products in front of the actual buyers that are looking for them. And this is the biggest one. Obviously, most people can't turn a profit if the money coming in isn't greater than the money going out. Then you're not making a profit, right? I know it's simple, but it's the truth, right? What's coming in has got to be greater than what's going out. Otherwise, you're going to go, one side you go bust, the other one your success. And that, this is it really. So a few years back, when I was broke and I was trying everything, I built one of these funnels, right? And I mean, you look at that and you think, okay, well, this isn't the actual funnel I built, but this looks a lot like it. So I put in upsells, down sells. I put in, segregation. If they hit this page, they go over here. If they do that, and then also we had some email follow-up sequences and all sorts of funky stuff, right? Now, the interesting thing here is that as soon as I built this, I thought this was going to be the thing that was going to save the day. It was going to make me loads of money and everything was going to happen. So I then went and ran an ad to it, and I got crickets. And I was really deflating. I'd spent nearly a month building this thing. So just to clarify here, guys, this is one thing. A lot of people have got funnel vision. Okay, funnels are great. Funnels are amazing, but funnels do not make you money. They make you more money. Okay, so if you put your products in front of actual buyers, you don't even need a funnel. You could literally just have a checkout page because your buyer is already in a buying state. They don't need anything else. You could just literally send them straight off to the product. Okay, and then you go and add the funnel because the funnel's then going to make you more money on the back end, right? But I think a lot of people have got this funnel vision and it's where all of our attention's being directed, and that's great. But having said that, if you direct all your attention and all your money in that area, then that's where I think a lot of people are falling into those traps, right? So we've got a case study here. Now, I got this case study from the book Losing My Virginity. So this is Richard Branson, and I think you'll like this. So basically, he had a record company in 1986, and he basically had got stuck on the Virgin Isles. And him and his wife Joan, I don't even know if they were married then, but he was with his wife Joan. They all the planes were cancelled, and he couldn't get home. So he chartered a plane to get home, and he sort of wrote on a piece of card, Virgin Airways, $50 or $100 or whatever, so he could get everyone home. And obviously he sold every single seat because everyone was stuck at the airport. And I think he sort of covered the cost of the plane and maybe pocketed a little bit of money. And he kind of had this idea, it sparked his imagination. He was always interested in aviation anyway. So he had this, this plane, this idea to start this airline. And he went back to his record company and he said, I want to start an airline. And some of them threatened to quit. Some of them did quit. I think one of his best friends, I think his name's Nick, quit. And he was kind of like at this position where he said, look, guys, look, our record company's worth $30 million. A Boeing 747 passenger airline is going to cost me, at the time, it was around $30 million. So obviously I might, the first option is to bet the farm, but if I can protect the downside, then we don't stand to lose anything. And so what he did was he got this directory of everyone he could think of at Boeing, and he just sat down 9 to 5, ringing all these different people. And eventually, I think it took him a while, but I think maybe a week or 2 weeks, but eventually he got somebody at Boeing who agreed to hire him a jet for a year, which meant that he didn't have to bet the farm. He could have a go at starting this airline. And at the end of the year, he could hand the plane back and he doesn't lose his record company. Now, obviously, why this is relevant is that with what we've got with Google advertising, we don't have to bet the farm anymore. Okay, we don't have to throw all of our money into marketing costs. And in fact, if he can do it with an airline, you can do it with pretty much anything. But with what we've got, we are able to reduce our marketing costs, which is the biggest expense in most businesses, down to zero. So yeah, I thought that'd be quite a good analogy. And actually, at the end of that year, obviously everything was off to the races. So he couldn't lose either way, which is kind of quite interesting. So yeah, I just put this image again so you can see this, because these are free ads, we don't have to bet the farm. We don't. In fact, if we use it for affiliate marketing, if you want to go and promote Groove pages, you can place these at the top of Google and YouTube. You're helping Mike. And actually what we're going to explore in a moment is how come we actually become top affiliates, and why are we, sometimes outselling vendors. We're going to go into that in just a moment. But this is fundamental shift number 2. Okay, so first of all, we know that we can reduce our marketing cost to zero, but we want to know how we can actually get these, these listings at the front page of Google in the first place. How do we actually get these products in front of red hot buyers, right? So we use YouTube. Okay. So the first thing, I mean, I think some of you guys, obviously, you're going to know some of these, but I'll go through them quickly. But first of all, Google owns YouTube. So Google, like, if you think of YouTube as like Google's younger brother, and because of this, YouTube generates income for Google. So if you click that carousel, you're keeping people on the platform and Google can serve them more ads. So it's a win-win. But Google doesn't only do it for that reason. Google pushes those listings over because it's what people want. People are more inclined to look at video now than any other online medium. In fact, Google have already said that in the next 5 years, YouTube and podcasts are going to be the main medium source. So yeah, but because of that, YouTube generates income for Google. YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet. So Google's number one, YouTube's number two, and then Google's going to rank our videos straight away. So when we place these listings, if you try and rank a website and wait 6 months, you're going to be kind of like doing everything trying to get there, and you're going to be waiting for 6 months. But if you give Google what it wants, the second you press send, it appears at the top of Google. And because of that, we get top rankings on both YouTube and Google. And also there's another tab on Google called Google Videos. So we get triple rankings. And because of that, when we put this in front of red hot buyers, we get an abundance of targeted traffic. And it's free. Okay, there is a premium option on YouTube, but hardly anybody uses it. It's free, it's staying free. You can do this time and time again. You can go and team up with affiliates. You can go and become, you can actually get to become friends with some of these companies and come and do this, because that's exactly how I'm here with you guys today, right? So I'm not going to obviously spend ages and ages on this. I just want to kind of highlight, if you want to go to brandwatch.com, there's pages and pages. But right now, we are entering into the golden age of YouTube. So whereas YouTube used to be all about sort of pranksters and music and things like that, that is kind of getting sewn up. That's now a bit of a red ocean. But what we're utilizing it for is a complete blue ocean. Hardly, there are some people doing commerce on it, but it's very, very small compared to what's going on. But basically, it's the number one streaming service. You've got all these different stats. I won't go through them, but I think you guys have already know this now. But if you go and ask your kids or your friends' kids, children, what they want to do when they grow up, my parents all wanted to be train drivers. All the kids now want to be YouTube stars. Okay, so this is the golden age. Like, this is where it's at. But some of you have thought about doing YouTube. Some of you have not even thought about it yet. And some of you have dismissed it altogether because you've probably fallen into some of these common myths. So we'll get these out of the way fairly quickly, because if you have avoided YouTube, it's because of some of these common myths, right? So number one is you need to show yourself. Okay, that's a myth. Okay, it's called YouTube, right? So YouTube, of course, I need to show myself. Well, for commerce, 99 out of 100 niches, you don't need to show yourself. Obviously, I'm showing you myself today because I'm using the one where I'm the brand and you can see it's me. So I can kind of prove it to you. But I've got 6 channels, 5 of which you wouldn't even know I exist. Okay, you think of all of the big niches out there: health, loans, all of these other niches, pets. Like, showing yourself is going to be irrelevant for those. If you want to go and sell products for those, putting yourself online is irrelevant. So first of all, right, I've got this screenshot. Now, this could be Mike, this could be me, this could be somebody in your family, and you would never know. You can actually see here, they've got a generic name. They've got a pretty, this is pretty diabolical, really. This is not a very good image. But what they've actually done here is they've solved a problem. And what you'll notice is that this video, it's been up since 2014, right? This video has had 4,000 up likes. It's had 10% down likes, which means only 1 out of every 10 people does not enjoy the content. Now, what's interesting about this is, like, anybody here could create this, guys. You can get these slides from somewhere called Pixabay for free, high quality images. You can upload these slides for free using Google Slides, and then you can add music for free on YouTube. YouTube has a music library. And this video actually generates income from ads. Okay, so you've seen these little yellow lines that appear, and you've seen the skip now button. Well, there'll be an ad before this appearing. And for this to actually generate an income, they need 30,000 views for around $100. and that's not what we do. Okay, I'm going to explain why that's a red ocean and we don't go anywhere near that, right? So, but what's really interesting here is it's had 252 comments, and all this does is say, number one, apply ice, number two, apply honey, number three. That's all it is with some music. It's actually really annoying at the start, yet 9 out of 10 people love it. But what they're actually doing is solving a problem. Somebody puts in simple and natural ways to avoid pimples, right? And that's exactly what they're giving them. And where they've missed a trick here, and this is exactly what we do, is you see this bit where it says show more. This little area here is called above the fold. So that comes from an old printing press term where you would have the newspaper and you'd fold it, right? So this is now used in digital marketing, and it's called above the fold. So if they, I mean, this video, considering like any of us could have done this in half an hour, right? This video is actually, I think I worked it out to be about $2,500 that they've made just from this one video with ads. But if they'd have put a link here and bridged it naturally from what we've got here to a natural face cream, they would have made 100 times more, because we've got the stats to show the amount of money we make. And again, none of you need to put yourself online for this. So that's the biggest common myth. Like, you think you've got to put yourself online, just choose a niche where you don't and go and put products up. So yeah, we create channels in various niches where no one knows who we are. And if you guys, honestly, like I said to you, you don't need any tech skills, right? If putting up slides and music's really difficult, just go over to Fiverr. I mean, for this video, they've made $2,500, and they could have got this done on Fiverr. In fact, you can get something better done on Fiverr for $5, right? But also, if you don't want to spend a single penny, you can use tools like iMovie, which is like a video editor on a Mac, Windows Movie Maker. You can now go on Zoom and just record your own screen. You don't need to go on a call with somebody. You can just record your screen and you can pop it up on YouTube, right? And, you know, add royalty through music. You can get your images from Pixabay. The Audio Jungle is another good one. And that's just, and all we do with that is rinse and repeat. We literally just go over the same thing every time. So guys, honestly, now you know, hopefully you're starting to think to yourself, okay, I don't need to put myself on YouTube, but I should be using it. If I've done my job correctly, then you'll be thinking that there. But myth number two is it takes months to get ranked, right? So this one makes me laugh, because when you actually think about it, most of the gurus that I spoke to didn't want to go near Google because of this reason. They didn't want to go near Google because they're doing other advertising platforms. And in fact, you know, when you actually set this up and you claim authority with Google and YouTube, you rank in seconds. And hardly anybody knows how to utilize this. So this was 29 minutes. So I'll give you a few, you know, I'll give you a bit of proof here just so you can see. 10 hours ago, can't see that one. 1 day ago, 8 hours ago, 1 day ago, 26 minutes ago, 6 hours ago. I'll go very quickly through this. You get the idea. 6 hours, 1 minute. And these are some of my students, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You sort of get the idea, right? So I'll go fairly quickly. But basically, once we claim authority, so the best way to describe that is if Harry and Meghan or somebody in the royal family goes and does something, you know, that opens a shop or turns up somewhere, you see it straight at the top of Google, right? And it's because those news sites have that authority. When they post something, the news site says, oh, okay, this is supposed to be number one, and it goes to number one. And that's basically all we do. We just tap into that part of the algorithm. So number three is that you need subscribers, likes, and comments. Now, again, this one makes me laugh. Virtually every YouTuber is asking for a subscribe at the start, subscribe at the end, asking you to like the video. And in some of my videos, I do the same. But the actual reality is that for you to get rankings on the front page of Google and YouTube for these highly competitive buy-in terms, it's irrelevant. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got a screenshot of this actual video. And you can see here that there's 7 likes and 3 down likes. In fact, this video is pretty poor quality. All I've done is I've got the landing page here and I talk over it and I tell people that they don't have this offer anymore, but I tell people you could get a 60-day free trial and I'm going to drop the link. That is it. And yet what's really important to note here is that this video has been ranking for over 2.5 years. This one's over 1.5 years. This one's over 2.5 years. In fact, I think this was the first video I ever created for this. So This is number one. Now, other YouTubers will look at this and they'll see 1,000 views. Okay. And the reason why this has had 1,000 views and not 30,000 or a million views, right, is because this is all from buyers. All of this traffic is coming from somebody looking for EverWebinar trial. This is what we call a red hot buying term. Somebody puts that into Google, they're looking to get it, right? So we place it straight at the top. People watch this video, which again isn't massive quality, and then we give them the link, and I track all these links, and this is getting me dozens of sales every single week for free. Pretty cool, huh? So you definitely, subscribers, likes, and comments, when you get those, they make your channel go viral. And what that means is that on the right hand side, those channels are going to be suggested. When that happens with our videos, we don't actually make that much more money because people aren't really looking to buy it. And actually, because Google's algorithm is pretty smart, it doesn't really make these sort of videos go viral. It doesn't serve us, it doesn't serve them. Like, you know, you might be interested in EverWebinar trial when you're looking at something else, probably not. You know, these are only for buyers. So number 4 is you can only make money from YouTube with AdSense. So again, this is another one that a lot of people think, because this is like a big red ocean. Like, if you wanted to make money from YouTube with AdSense, I'm not saying you can't do it. You can definitely give it a go, but it is competitive now. Like most of those things, you've got to create consistent content every single day. You've got to put these videos up, you know, and you've got to create really high quality videos. You've got to be really creative, and you've got to really stand out. You've got to come up with something pretty unique, right? But what's interesting here is that this is a screenshot. My channel's got just over 2,000 subscribers, so it's pretty small in terms of the viral type channels, right? But this, I took this screenshot when I had 958 subscribers, and the reason I did this is because according to YouTube, I wasn't making any money, because you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time to even advertise on your channel. Google wants to see that you're serious. So Google statistics are like, I'm not making any money with this, right? But I was making thousands of dollars a day with this channel, with this, what I'm showing you today. And if you want to go and create a channel where you're going to make money with AdSense, right? Bearing in mind, you know, you've got the 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. Not only that, you've got to go and compete in that red ocean. Now, the best analogy that I've got is that if you want to become a pop star today, your best chance is going to audition on something like the X Factor. And if you've ever seen the queues around the block like this, then, you know, it's a pretty slim chance. And I liken it to that, really. If you want to go and compete in that market, give it a go. But you're up against everyone. 5 years ago, you could do it. Nowadays, it's really difficult. If you want to go and rank a commerce product on the front page of Google, you can make, my channel was making more than some of the channels that were getting 500,000 subscribers, because some of them were actually sharing how much money they were making, and it was just making me chuckle, because I was looking at what I was earning, looking at what they was earning. I was like, I'm earning more, and I have got a very small channel. So here's a bit more proof as well. So this, I actually took this screenshot on the same day. So this was one product that I've been promoting 6 weeks. You could see that I generated 101,000 for the vendor. I generated 22,000 in commission, and this was actually 6 weeks old. But I actually took another screenshot of yesterday, and I generated 2,966. And because when we start putting these up in position 1, 2, and 3, and 4, we sort of create a few videos, and once we've created a few, we sort of get all of these listings. We get this sort of omnipresence on Google and YouTube, which means that they start to compound and they start to go up. Now, this actual product is a seasonal product, so it goes up and down. So this was a particularly good day, but on this day, look, I'd earned $4,000 in one day. And yeah, and this was just from I think it was 10 videos, 6 weeks old, this entire product. And this day, you know, this vendor was absolutely loving me, right? So myth number 5 is it's too hard to get started. So if it's cool, we'll have a bit of engagement here. Who here has thought, oh well, I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, but you know, do I really want YouTube? It's probably going to be too hard. I've got Facebook, I've got everything. So just give me a 1 if you thought Facebook was too hard to get started. Just give me a 1 in the chat box, guys. We'll have a look.
So you're getting Gregory. Oh, now they're coming in like crazy. So
Yeah.
Heidi says on top of the 1, so many options, overwhelming. And you guys see, you can get a shout out sometimes by typing in more than the 1. You get my attention a little more. So Brian, no, I'm sorry, Terrence says, Paul, what about network marketers wanting to build their teams and sell a product? I'm sure this is Q&A, and we're not going to jump into the Q&A, but maybe you might want to
Yeah,
just handle that because you seem to be doing pretty well. That the people are engaged. That there's not too many questions. They kind of know where it's coming. So, yeah. Mark Silence says, Paul, boom, and Peter says, it's like having to get a university degree, yeah, to learn Facebook advertising. I can understand that could be tough. But this stuff, I got to tell you, Paul, this stuff seems very, very logical, and I can
yeah,
tell normally on a webinar, some of the feedback that we'll be getting is, yeah, but you guys have been doing this for a long time, or what about this, or what other tools do I need? Am I going to have to, all these different objections? And so far, people are just giving the normal comments. This is interesting. Oh, I
yeah,
love that slide. Wow, Paul, that's a great story. So Dan Martin says this is amazing, amazing so far. And yeah, so I'll turn it back to you, Paul. But yeah, great.
yeah,
It's a great point. Yeah, there's a lot of the other stuff has complexities, and it's part of running a business. But certainly your
mm,
point that you're making here is, as much as you want to say it's complicated, it's just about knowing, okay, I'm sure you're going to get into good stuff like how to make a good thumbnail that gets people excited and all that stuff. But I'll turn it back to you.
yeah. So yeah, basically, yeah. So I mean, I'm assuming we got a few ones there as well. So I mean, I get it, right? We've got we've got Instagram, we've got all these different things. It's a bit too hard to get started. Okay, so I've done this as a bit of fun, guys, right? So just indulge me. If you've got a Gmail, you're good to go. You've got a YouTube channel, right? Your Gmail is your YouTube channel. But if you haven't, you can do it in less. 15 minutes is being generous, right? You can create a 3-minute demo and upload slides. Literally, like, well, you could go to $5, right? And that won't even take you 30 minutes because you'll submit it and they'll bring it back. Or you can create it with slides and music, free slides and music. So again, I'm being generous, 30 minutes, and you can generate income for years to come. No software, no product, no nothing. This is it. This is how easy it is to get started. Okay, so I did that. I mean, obviously that looks a bit simplistic, but it's actually true. This is all you really need. So on to fundamental shift number 3. So this is the one I teased earlier on. So this is the power of 3. Now I love this because what actually happened here was we had to reverse engineer when we started to like absolutely crush it with our marketing. So this is it. I told you guys this was going to be a solid training webinar. So you guys, obviously, if you want to take a screenshot or just note this down on your pen and paper, this is going to be the like pure value here that you're going to be able to go and crush it on YouTube. So the first thing we do when we do this is we look for searched for traffic. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a keyword tool. So there's a free one on Google called Keyword Planner. So you just go and set up an account and you can use it. And then what you'll do is you'll go and put your searches into Google and you're going to see what the traffic is. And another little tip here, a little side tip, is to go to Google Trends. Again, it's a free tool. And you just put in your product or your niche or your service just to make sure it's not like dipping down too far. Doesn't matter too much because this is free, right? But it's just something else to do. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we know that our product or service is, loads of people are searching for it. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to place our video on the front page of Google only in front of buyers. Okay, and a little ninja trick here, guys, is just go and put your product, or go and put your keyword into Google. If you're not sure whether that's a buying keyword, go and put it into Google and see if there's ads. If there's an ad there, it's a buying keyword because ads are not cheap and companies will not advertise against keywords that don't generate any money. Obviously, we'll use our common sense. Like if somebody puts in buy groove pages or buy groove sell or anything like that, we know that's a buying keyword. We don't need to worry about looking for ads. And occasionally we find these massive buying keywords where there's no ads. I'm wondering whether they've run out of budget that month. It does happen, but generally speaking, if you put that in and you see ads, you're good to go. So we've got search for traffic. So we know there's loads and loads of searches coming in. We've got a buying keyword, and then we're going to use this power of 3. Okay, so what actually happened was, guys, honestly, you're going to absolutely love this because this is the crux of the entire business. So what actually happened was a few years ago, I got contacted by one of the vendors and they were like, hey, Paul, you're outselling us. I said, really? They said, yeah. They said, where are you advertising? I was like, Google and YouTube. Didn't say any more, just left it at that, right? And they were like, oh, cool, yeah, that's where we're advertising, but you're outselling us. I said, but that's not why we're ringing. The reason we're ringing is that you're getting over 50% conversion. And I was like, am I? I wasn't even really paying that much attention. I knew the sales were coming in. So I sort of went and had a look, and he said, no, he said, I don't believe it. He said, because 50% conversion is not a statistic in internet marketing. He said, most of the advertising platforms, 10, 15, 20%. He said, sometimes we get more. He said, but to be honest, he said, 50% conversion doesn't exist. He said, it's not, go and have a look at it and come back. So I went and had a look, and I looked at my clicks. Now, his clicks were being tracked, right? Because I was sending traffic to his product. So he knew what was coming in. But I was also tracking my clicks through something called pretty links. So I had these pretty links set up. So I was sending these clicks to him, and the clicks were exact. I was looking at the two, and they were both the same. So I was thinking, well, this isn't actually a coincidence. This isn't wrong. This is like actually happening. So then I started looking at all other products, and we were getting the same across the board. And I was like, oh my God, like I started, I literally started to think, oh my God, what's going on here? I'm getting serious amounts of sales, and every single person that's coming in is clicking. So, and as you can see here, this is just a screenshot. I always like to show proof, guys, so I'm not just making this up. You can actually see here that this product here, this one day, this was that day when I had 958 subscribers, right? I actually took the screenshot. I had 334 visitors, 181 sales, and as it was a SaaS product, I had 38 rebills, and this was only 6 weeks old. So these was only the first rebills coming in, and you always get refunds. It's just the nature of the business. But yeah, you can see we were getting over 50% conversion. So the best way to describe this, so we sort of had to reverse engineer it to see what was happening, because again, like, this is not really a statistic, and if you guys don't want to believe it, that's cool by me. But I can tell you that this is how we sort of discovered that it was all happening, right? But first of all, you go to Google, right? So if you go back 5 or 10 years, right, you would go and put a Google search in, and then when you put that Google search in, you're going to, like 5 or 10 years ago, you just go and buy the product, right? Yeah, sure. Go, underwater basket weaving kit. Yeah, sure. Go and buy it. Sure, buy it. But guys, give me a 5 now in the chat box. I won't check, but give me a 5 now if you go to eBay without checking the reviews. Give me a 5 if you go to Amazon without checking the reviews. Are you going to go on holiday without looking on TripAdvisor? Not a chance in hell. You don't want to turn up at a resort and it's half built. And if you think about it, you've got all these other websites as well. You've got compare the market type websites that are actually affiliate sites. But what they'll do is they'll give you the top 10 list of like broadband internet suppliers or energy suppliers. And if you want to go and get a tradesman, like Yelp comes up on the front page of Google now. So we are preconditioned to get a second opinion, right? So what happens now is that we won't even allow ourselves to go and buy this product straight from the vendor. This is why when we go and promote products for vendors, like Mike's Groove pages, we're super helping him, because what happens is that we're able to put our video and give them that second opinion, and then we help grow Mike's business. We help these vendors grow their business. So, and because of that, because we're preconditioned to do that, we are going to literally build that know, like, and trust. That's why I said earlier, we're definitely not doing any selling here. Like if we do selling here, people switch off. All we're doing is we're basically ticking that part of the brain that needs that second opinion. We know that people are preconditioned to this. Now, we are doing this. So let me ask you this, guys. Again, I won't check, but I already know the answer. But I'm going to ask you, have you ever gone to buy a product like a camera or a telly or something like that and gone to see somebody unboxing it on YouTube? This is what we're doing. So what actually happens is that we put these videos in front of these products, build that second opinion. And the reason I call this the power of free is because all we need to do above that fold is drop the link in. And because like free is a bit of a magic number for the human race, right? Like songs are in 3 parts, films are often in 3 parts, plays are often in 3 parts. We don't want to complete in 4. If somebody's got the link there, are you going to press it, or are you going to come out, go in and put the Google search in and go and find the product? No. If the product is there, you're going to click it. And what we also do here is wherever possible, we'll get a discount. But if we're like, for instance, if we're promoting a product where the vendor's promoting it as well, they're not going to give us a discount above what they've got. So what we do is we package it with a bonus. And okay, and sometimes just a PDF or something like that, like nothing too major. But in all honesty, if you don't package it with anything, as long as you've ticked the part of the brain, they're going to buy. and then we rinse and repeat. So just to like clarify here, they're in a buying state. We tick that part of the brain so they don't need to get any other second opinion. If they click that link, 1 in 2 buy. And that's how we get 50% conversion. And some days we've had over 100% conversion. I remember looking at my stats one day, I was really perplexed. We had 120% conversion. And again, we had to kind of look at it and say, well, what's going on here? Like, obviously it's not registering the clicks. But what we found out was that because we had basically built this trust and we'd given them the click, they'd clicked this link and got distracted or gone away or had their tea or whatever, right? But the day after, this vendor had sent them a retargeting ad, but because we had originally introduced them to the product, we get the sale. So we've had days where we've had over 100, like 100, I think the record was 128% conversion on one day. Well, you know, I think we had, I can't remember exactly what it was, but you know, if you think about it, 100 sales, we had 100 clicks and we had 128 sales, right? So yeah, so hopefully like some of you are getting some massive aha moments now. So this is the power. And the reason why people want our video is because people, advertising is really powerful, right? People are definitely clicking the ads. But when we actually look at the whole stats of the whole page, people would rather avoid the ads if there's something else. We know they need a second opinion. We now know that people are rather like avoiding websites becoming a bit, you know, of the old platform. So what we're actually doing with this is we're not only got prime real estate with billboards on the front page of Google, but we're in exactly the right place where everybody wants us. The YouTube video is red hot. So yeah, hopefully you're sort of starting to get that now. So yeah, so fundamental shift number 4 is the magic 5-step formula. So again, if you guys have got a pen and paper, or if you want to take a screenshot, this is our rinse and repeat formula. And I've got, of course, I've got a case study. I don't want to like show you something and then show you it doesn't exist. But this, if you copy this system, guys, you're going to succeed. So first of all, we choose a niche, okay, and then we pop up our YouTube channel. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is we're going to sign up for a product that's going to make us $100 LTV. Now, the reason we do this, okay, if you want to go and advertise on Facebook or anywhere like that, okay, then you are going to be competing and the cost per advertising is going to be higher because the higher the product, generally the higher the ad, okay? But with this, because it's free, why go for a low ticket product? And you can find a high ticket product in any niche you can think of. Any niche that you can go into, there's going to be a $100 product. Now, if you guys are here today and you're using this for your own business or anything else, then stick with that, okay? The margins on e-commerce is usually a lot lower. So if you're getting 10, 20 bucks, but you've got everything all set up, just use it for that. But this is obviously for a brand new product. This is this is when we start brand new. So we choose a niche, we go for $100 LTV. And I've actually had students say to me, I'm going to start with $20 and graduate. No, there are going to be as many people looking for those high ticket products as there are for the low ticket products. You do not have to spend a penny on ads. So that's the key here. Go for $100, right? And then we're going to set the game up to win. So a lot of you guys are going to have full-time jobs, right? And this is why we set the game up to win. We're going to give ourselves a maximum of 1 hour a day to record, upload, and make it go live on YouTube. Okay, and we are talking a 2-3 minute demo, very, very short. That's all we're going to do. And we're going to set ourselves a goal of 1 hour a day. So if you've got a full-time job and you want to succeed in business, I'm not here to tell you to quit your job and go all in. I think that's a crazy idea. I never tell people to do that. Do 1 hour a day of this every single day until you hit your goal. Now, we do this for 7 to 30 days.
Hey,
so
Paul,
we'll generally put a minimum of 7 videos and we'll carry on
Paul,
until
I'm going to interrupt just for a second here.
Sure.
No, we have a couple of people, about 5 or 6 people, saying, "What is LTV?" So,
oh yeah, good point.
Break that down.
Right. So we're going to make a profit, a minimum profit of $100. So LTV stands for lifetime value. So sometimes you might be promoting like a SaaS product or something, and it might be 30 or 40 bucks a month. But if we know that they're likely to stay for 3 months, we'll go for it, right? Because we know we're going to get around about $100. Now we don't overthink this, but we're just going to be we're going to be doing a little bit of basic research, and we're just going to say, okay, are we likely to make $100? Yeah. Sometimes you can ask the vendors. Sometimes, oh, I don't know what that was. Sometimes we're going to ask the vendors if they can give us some of their stats. Sometimes they don't want to tell us, and that's their prerogative, right? But again, I don't often do that. I just work it out roughly. I think, okay, are they going to likely stay with this company? But quite often you can choose a product that goes straight to $100 on the front end, which is basically your first commission, right? So yeah, LTV, sorry about that, Mike, well picked up. It stands for lifetime value, okay, or long term. Sometimes people call it long-term value. I call it lifetime value, but it's the same thing, right? So as long as you're making $100, basically, maybe I'll just cross that out. Just 100, as long as you're going to make $100. And then, like I said, we're going to post these for 7 to 30 days. So, you know, if you've got a full-time job, you can do an hour in the morning every day. And this is only going to be a month. And we're going to set a goal, okay, of $1,000 a day. Now, some of you guys here are going to see that and go, what on earth? So just remove this zero, okay? I don't want you to feel like this is unachievable or out of your remit. If you want to go for $100 a day, go for $100 a day. But I've put that there for a specific reason because I've got a case study I want to show you. So we go for $1,000 a day because don't forget, we're putting all of our products in front of like a stream of buyers coming in, number one. Number two, we're only putting our products in front of those buyers. Okay, and number three, we're ticking all the parts of the brain, so we're going to get high conversions. So $1,000 a day, like you think, again, YouTube's number one, sorry, Google's number one, YouTube's number two. Every time anyone looks for your product or service, they're not going over to Facebook to look for it. They're going to Google. Okay, now I'm a big fan of Facebook marketing, but the strategy I use is to use it to grow. Okay, if I want to go and run a Facebook ad, okay, I might go to, I think Mike's got an agency, you know, there's lots of agencies out there, but if you guys want to run a Facebook ad and you go and give your agency a buyers list, okay, because you can get all this data, you can get a buyers list. If you go and give that to your agency, they'll tell Facebook to find more people like that. It's called a lookalike audience, but basically all it is that Facebook's algorithm is going to say, here's your buyers list. Okay, great. Here's a bunch more buyers. Super powerful. You can scale to the moon with Facebook. I often don't, but I recommend it. It's a very big strategy. But this is just pure, this 5-step here system is just pure organic traffic doing this, right? And I've obviously put a screenshot here to inspire you. So this is the proof. So the product that I went for was this one here, which is one funnel away. So Russell Brunson gives you $100, okay, because it's a front end price so that he can build his product, right? So he gives you the full amount. So you actually pay $100, but he gives that to you, and then he gains a customer. So he can build more know, like, and trust with his client, and then, you know, hopefully they purchase more products. So it's a really clever strategy, and it works really well. And it means that loads of affiliates are going to go crazy for promoting it because you're going to get $100. So we're going to get, I put it there, at lifetime value. So what we'll do is we'll put up 7 to 30 videos. In this case, I think I put up about, I don't actually think I got to 10 videos. But let's say, for instance, we put up a minimum of 10 videos, right? Now, if you don't believe this next bit, you won't believe any of this. We're just aiming to get 2 clicks a day per video, right? So if you think about it, we've already know that there's loads of search for traffic coming in. This is one of the hottest products last year, right? Secondly, we're putting it in front of red hot buyers. It's only the buying terms. So, you know, guys, give me a 5 if you think it's impossible to get 2 clicks a day based on the fact that we've already done that, right? And I won't look, because those of you who think it's impossible, all you've got to do is go and search my videos and get a calculator and work out if I've had more than 2 per day, right? Since I put them up, it's way more. But this is all we need, right? So check this out. So obviously 10 videos times 2 clicks a day is 20 clicks a day, right, to these videos. Okay, we already know we're getting over 50% conversion, and that's how we get to $1,000 a day. And here's the proof, right? I actually started advertising this in August. In the first 24 hours, I generated $900, and then somebody bought another product off me. So out of all of those sales, just from a handful of videos that I literally just put up that week that took me no more than a day to create and upload, I generated $3,000. And I'm getting sales of this coming in all the time. How cool is that, right? And this one's quite funny. This is, I just want to show you a little bit more proof so that you guys go, but this is actually quite a funny story. So this is a channel I put up a few years back. And I've actually, because I wasn't very organized back then, I've actually lost the login. So I can't actually log into this channel. It doesn't exist. It's just not anywhere. And I consistently get around $3,000 a week from this product. And the weird thing is that they send me a check with like they attach it, like staple it to a piece of paper. I've got a stack of them over there. And I actually go to the bank every now and then with these checks. And the funny thing is that I'm one of their biggest affiliates. There's like 5 of them in the office. And because they're not online, they don't have any website or any sort of presence. What happens is it's actually a phone number for this product. And it's in a niche where I don't put myself online. So what actually happens is that they'll phone the number and it'll beep in their ear and it will say Paul Murphy, and then they register it. And they absolutely love me. But if they change that number, if they decide to change their telecom system, then like I've lost everything. But the great thing is, obviously, I can just put up another 5 videos. So I just thought that was quite a funny story, yeah. But this is consistently making me, as you can see, $3,000 a week, and it's just coming in all the time. This is ranking #1 solidly, set and forget. Like, this is just coming in every single day. So guys, we're going to have a quick recap. So first of all, so obviously what we covered was I was going to show you how I get unlimited free advertising space in positions 1, 2, and 3 on Google and YouTube. Okay, so we showed you how to do that. I showed you how I get evergreen traffic to red hot buyers every single day that converts at over 50%. I also showed you how I earn thousands of dollars a day from a set and forget system without actually touching it. We don't need to go back and optimize it. We don't need to kind of log in every now and then and kind of work something out. It just keeps coming in. And also, I showed you how to protect the downside, which you can do in any business. Now, guys, there's costs involved in business, but if you know what you're going in with, then you will never fail. If you do not know what you're going in with and everything over here and there is eating up all your money, Zux will eat your money fast, right? He will take it. He's quite happy to take all your money. And, you know, if you actually take like, instead of that, if you take a fraction of your profits, it's not your money, you've already made it, and then you go and give it to the agencies, you win. And you give them the buyers list, you win. But if you do that first and you've got only a small amount of budget, you'll find that the churn rate on a lot of agencies is around 3 months. And it's not because they can't find you winners, it's because they haven't had a chance to and they've eaten up all your money. So that's basically all it boils down to, because they've got to test out lots of different audiences and everything. You don't have to do that because you're right in front of buyers. And also we went through how I can place any product, no matter how competitive. Now, if you guys want to take this system and go and rank for Tesla, I'm yet to see someone do this. I'd love to see one of you guys do this. You could do it, right? And if you put up enough of these, I'm willing to bet that you'd get a phone call from Elon Musk, right? And he'd be like, what the hell are you doing? And if you're really lucky, he might even ask you if you want to be an affiliate. Imagine that for Tesla. But you could do this because we claim this authority, and it's a massive blue ocean. And this is going to be a blue ocean for quite a while, guys. This isn't going to be a blue ocean for a month. This is a massive blue ocean. So yeah, you can literally go and place these products or services as many as you want, as long as you want. And when you claim that ranking, you're there. Okay. So guys, how are we feeling? How are we doing at this stage? Do you feel like you actually learned something new today? Please say yes, because I'm quite nervous.
Okay, we've got Randy Fisher says, yup. It's funny. We got a lot of yups here.
Yeah.
Tahir also said yup. Kerry, yes. So I'll read some names here. Terry, Sandra, John, Mel M. Mel M says, mind blown.
Oh,
VJ,
wow.
Jody, yes, plus love the cats. Thomas, Brian, Rick, James, Anita with some triple exclamation points. Gregory King says overwhelmed. Gregory, reply back again if overwhelmed in a good way, like in an excited way. And then just tons of yeses. We've got, again, 363 people on, but okay, somebody must have heard. So Amanda says yuppers to stand out here. Absolutely, yes, Tony Paul, 4 Ys from Jeff Walters. Great info. You bet. Jim Cole pops that in there. Everybody knows how to get me to say something. And fire hose is Jonathan H. Mind blowing. Thomas. And so yeah. So they know I'm calling them out, and they just keep going, Paul. I
Wow.
was just talking with Donna.
So
And I
yeah,
said,
guys, this is
man, Paul is just crushing it.
oh wow, thank you so much, guys. I'm so honestly, I really appreciate that feedback. I'm you know, as Mike said, at this point I'm underground. You know, the fact that I'm working with Mike in itself blew me away, but I am underground at this point. But I have something more powerful than most of the, if you don't mind me saying the word, crap that's out there at the moment. I obviously showed you that I'm doing this. So obviously, guys, what I've done today, I've shown you some killer strategies. I gave you some solid training, which is a promise that I made to Mike and I made to you guys. In fact, I've been doing nothing but working on this all week and last week. Mike will tell you. Every now and then I'm like, I've done another bit, Mike. He's like, yeah, leave me alone, Paul. No, he didn't say that, but that was what was going on in my head. But yeah, I mean, I've been excited and, to show you this, but obviously we've probably gone a bit over the hour. I obviously can't show you everything I'd love to show you. I've got some amazing stuff. So obviously at this point, we said that if I show you something new and you wanted to take it a bit further, I actually have put together an amazing offer for you. So like, guys, if you want to stop there, we can, but who here would like to see how I can help you take this, what I just showed you, to the next level? So give me a 5 in the chat box. I've put something together especially for Mike that I think you're
All
going to
right,
love.
Paul, they're blowing up the fives. Yeah, so folks, this is the point where we come to the webinar where Paul, the quid pro quo, has he earned the
Yeah.
spot to talk about his product? And for those of you, probably about 15% of you would love to become a student of his. And so if you've gotten enough, you can bounce out. And if you are saying, hey, it's no obligation, I'd love to have the option to see what he's gotten. You have everything from fives, let's hear about it, to I want your help, 5, Brian Taylor. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Paul. We're 90 minutes into this, so I can't say enough thank you for giving 90 minutes of content that, frankly, my mind would be open enough to say, hey, I get this. I'm going to try to go do it on my own. And that's what we want to do. We want that there's enough on that 90-minute webinar. Obviously, people know that you might have an 8 or 10-hour course and you can't fit that all in. You've got to do proof of
Yeah.
concept. So for everybody, I'm going to turn it over to you. They've got your Joe, if you can please shut that off. Joe? Sorry, Joe's Jablonski, my affiliate manager, is right next to me, and I think we've got my voice coming in feedback. So I'm going to turn it right over to you, Paul, if you could take it
Cool.
over. Thanks.
Okay, thanks ever so much, guys. Yeah, no, like I say, I've put something together really kind of special. But at this point, some of you are thinking, yeah, okay, I get that. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, I'm the top affiliate for virtually every product I go for. I'm the number 3 affiliate. I didn't actually know that, but Mike said that I was number 3 affiliate for Groove Pages. And I don't spend a single penny on ads. But some of you are probably thinking, okay, I'm either Superman or something. This is why I put this image in the group, right? Because it was kind of funny, but also people sometimes look at this and think, yeah, okay, but I can't do it, right? Or you might think, yeah, well, I'm not sure it's real or whatever. But I'm no one special. Every single business that I've ever done has been based on me getting organic traffic. Every time I've tried anything else, I've failed. I just know how to do this, and I'm the only person on the planet, unless you've actually learned from me, who knows how to do this. And so I started in 2002. I've spent 18 years down in the trenches figuring out this with trial and error, and specifically this strategy in the last 2 or 3 years. And as I said to you earlier, if I could have got one of those gurus just to like show me, I would have bitten their hand off. So obviously, like, you guys have that opportunity right now to go deeper and actually learn this. So right now, if you go and put your products and services out into the big wide world, you kind of have 2 advertising options. Your first one, and it's not the one I recommend, is that you can go and advertise them and spend hundreds of thousands on future ad spend. Okay, and you're going to possibly fall into one of those traps we mentioned earlier, where 99% of marketers fail. If you're focusing on the funnel and spending all your money on ads before you make a bit of money, you can fail. Okay, and the stats prove it, right? You can actually get this. But obviously there is a second option, and this is the one I totally recommend, is that you can let me show you how to just put everything in front of, on the front page of Google. So in front of your red hot buyers every day coming in, buying your products. And you can put them on Google for years to come if you just copy what I show you. Okay, so I recommend that one, because that one means you're never going to have to make a loss ever again. Okay, if you've made a loss up to this now, you just don't need to. Now, if you want to hire me, I'm $15,000. I work for 8 weeks with my clients, and at the moment I'm backed up. I've actually got a queue of people waiting to work with me, because unfortunately I can only work with 1 or 2 people every month, right? So because obviously I have a lifestyle business, but not only that, I want to sort of dedicate a lot of time and resources. Todd was my first client, so I've actually been showing people since Todd. And as a result, every time I'm working with one of my clients, I have to actually put this training somewhere, right? I have to actually create a portal for these guys so that I'm not like going over the same thing over and over again. So these are just some of the, you can see I'm not just, obviously I always like to show you guys, I'm not just saying this. So what I've actually done is I've put this all together inside a academy, which is 14 modules. And I'd like to present to you the Affiliate Tube Success Academy. So this started off as 7 modules a year ago. It's now 14 modules. It's over 60 hours of training. And this is the entire system. So instead of having to hire me, you can actually go and get all the training and everything inside one big portal, which is the Affiliate Tube Success Academy. So at this point, you're probably thinking, well, what will it actually do for me? So the first thing the Affiliate Tube Success Academy could do for you is that it's going to show you how to place any products at the top of Google. It's going to give you an evergreen set and forget system ad platform where you're never going to have to spend a penny of your own money on ads. It's going to remove all the stress from paid advertising from your marketing. It's going to save you hundreds of thousands on future ad spend. It's going to give you free prime real estate on the 2 biggest search engines. So this is not somewhere in the back office. Obviously, this is Oxford Circus. This is Times Square. Okay, and not only that, you can have a billboard. And also, there's going to be no more wasting money with nothing to show for it. And this is the big one for me. It's going to give you financial time and location freedom. And those of you with families, that will be a big one for you, I'm sure, because that's usually what we hear. So this is Rob. Okay, so Rob said, Paul made various promises to me when I started working with him, one of which was to drive traffic to my business using free traffic on Google and YouTube. He over-delivered on all of his promises, and I was able to rank my videos fast on the first pages of both. If you're on the fence about working with Paul, my advice is to take the leap of faith as I did, and you won't be disappointed. And he left me a video testimonial, which you'll be able to see in a bit. Basically, at the end, it was quite funny. He said, I don't really want to leave this testimonial because I don't want you having any more of his time. I want more of it for myself. So it's quite funny. So if you kind of imagine, guys, if you just get that one product, bear in mind, you can do this as many times as you like. You can go after as many niches as you like, but only one product is all it takes. One product generating you a set and forget $1,000 a day, $30,000 a month. And I'm not talking about turnover, I'm talking about profit. Okay, just one winning product's all it takes. What would that actually mean for you and your family and for your business? Okay, what would you be able to do? Would you look, some people want to write a book, right? You'd be able to go and, you could do this, 7 to 30 days, like we said, 1 hour a day, you could quit your job and go and write a book, or you could travel. I went to a marketing conference over here recently, and Ty Lopez was one of the speakers, and he said he was going to a different marketing conference every single week or month, maybe one a month, I can't remember, but he would sit next to somebody and he would pick up one little golden nugget. So you might want to do that. Maybe you want to sit on a beach with a pina colada, or or a laptop in one hand, a pina colada in the other. That's all it takes, guys. So what would it actually mean for you? $365,000 a year. There isn't many people that wouldn't change their lives. So what would that actually mean for you? Because just one product can get you there, right? So here's what we're going to be covering. This is like the overview of all the modules, right? So the step 1 is I'm going to give you my copy and paste 24-hour ranking system. So like I said, we've got 14 modules. That's doubled in size over the past 12 months. This is an evergreen system that I'm always updating, and this is not something I created 2 years ago and just leave. I'm always in there creating, updating, like based on everything that's happening. I'm always making sure that it's completely up to date. So it's over 60 hours of training. It's a step-by-step process. And I give you all the resources and all the tracking resources and everything that we use, which is what I give to my clients. You get everything. I don't hold something back for my clients. You get everything. And it's 100% plug and play, and it's simple to understand. So I train as though everyone's a 5-year-old, not because like I'm patronizing, but mainly because I just say to people, look, you do this, you pause, you do something else. And I get compliment from people that it's like that. I've seen a lot of courses, I've seen a lot of trainers that talk at a massive high level, go over your head, they don't really make any sense, and it's really hard to follow. So I make it very simple, straightforward, easy to understand, step by step. So you literally, you will go through a video, you'll pause it and you'll go and implement it. And then you come back, you do another one, and you implement it, right? So step 2, I'm actually going to give you my winning product formula. So instead of you having to put up 10 or 20 products before you get a winner, I'm actually going to show you how you can actually go and succeed out of the gate. So this is going to save you hours of time. And I'm also going to give you my full profit powerhouse training. So inside that module, and also I'm going to give you the entire step-by-step A to Z profitable product blueprint. So you can literally go and kick it out of the gate, okay, with your first or second product, instead of having to wait till your 10th product, because this is kind of what I did when I was figuring this system out. It took me loads and loads of products before I figured it out. So you know, you can cut out all the headaches with that as well. Step 3 is my 50% conversion secret. So this is the power of 3. So what we do is we dig deep. I show you how to put your thumbnail on the front page. We create these thumbnails in such a way that they stand out. They create a bit of intrigue, so people click them, so we get more clicks. Okay, then the video is taking them on a bridge. If you think of a funnel, a successful funnel will take somebody from an opt-in to a sale, and there'll be a bridge. There'll be something in the middle that's going to bring them to want to buy that product. So we do that with this video, but we do it without selling. Okay, we build that know, like, and trust, and we naturally take them on that arc. They're already in the buying state, so we just, you know, we gently take them on that journey so that they go and click the link. Super, super powerful. We sell without selling, so you actually claim massive authority. I actually get people sending me support tickets for some of the biggest brands out there because they think I actually work for the company. And I have to say, sorry, I don't work for them. You have to go. But you claim that authority. You actually are able to be, you know, be the, in a lot of cases, you're going to be the brand for some of these people, right? Okay, so we show you the, you know, how you actually bridge them so that you're getting all these clicks coming through, and you're getting that 50% conversion, 100% conversion, 120% conversion. Everyone who clicks your link is in a massive buying state. If you miss out some of these steps, you will get a much lower conversion. Okay, then obviously we're going to go through Google rankings. So how on earth are we taking these listings from YouTube and putting them over to Google? Well, this is kind of what I spent 2 years figuring out, right? So I'm going to show you how when you go and place your listing, within seconds, it goes straight to the top of Google. Now, when that happens, you get this new tag. Google optimizes your video in the first 24 hours because it wants to basically promote it for you so it can see where it's going to land a week from now. So you get a massive amount of love from Google in the first 24 hours. Then you get a little bit less love for a week, and then it basically works out where to place you. And that's what we do. It's like the in joke in our community is that we say optimize for love. So we're optimizing for love. So what we're doing is we're basically tapping into the algorithm in the first 24 hours so that it stays there. It keeps it relevant for years to come. Okay, so and also we show you how to build that brand and that authority. If you remember that plugin I showed you earlier, where I actually can go after some of the most competitive products. And, you know, people don't know where I've come from. They're like, who the hell is this guy? He's got a tiny little channel, yet he's ranking and outranking everyone and outselling everyone. But you can do this. You can do this for Tesla. You can do this for anything. There isn't a product we've been duped by yet. Okay. Obviously, disclaimer here, it may be possible, but we, you know, we have not, because we claim this authority, we basically do it in such a way that Google and YouTube says, you're the authority, we're going to give you all the rankings. Okay. And we do this 100% white hat, guys. You're not going to come inside here. I'm not going to give you a bit of software or a bit of tool and go and do that. I'm staunchly against it. If you use any of those tools, you're going to harm your channel. If you harm your channel, Google does one of these things called, they have like a free strike system. But what they also have is, what I believe anyway, and what we all believe, is they have this underground system where they don't tell you anything, but you just can't get anywhere with your channel. And if you do anything slightly underhanded, the algorithm knows what's going on. If you're buying likes and links and using all these like tools that are supposed to be magical, yeah, they'll get you to the top of Google for a day, but then they're gone and your channel's damaged. So 100% white hat. We do not use any external services. I'm massively against it. And if you do it at your own risk, right? But yeah, so this is what we do. This is how we build this authority. This means that if YouTube and Google were people, right, we would be going to each other's weddings, we'd be going to each other's parties. Google's basically saying to us, come and have these rankings, just play ball. So that's what we do, right? And because of that, as you saw in the post on Facebook, we rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get those rankings on YouTube and Google. And we can place, you know, you can place 10 videos, but you can place 30 if you want. You can go all in. But, you know, if you just place 3 or 4, you can literally claim all the listings. You get massive omnipresence. Pretty cool. So also, we're going to show you the evergreen traffic sequence. So this is how when we put them there, we optimize for love and we keep them there. So you can get solid ads for up to 5 years. And the only reason I've got 5 years here is because that's as long as we've done any of this. So I actually have not got any further data, but I've got rankings that have stayed there for ever since day one, and they're solid, and no one can touch me because I've got that authority. Google's algorithm kind of thinks I'm the creator, right? Because we claim that authority. So this is obviously magic. Like, if without this, guys, you'll go and rank something, and then tomorrow you'll see it disappear. So we give you the secret authorization formula where we basically, and this is super simple as well, not a lot to it, but hardly anybody, in fact, nobody I know is actually focusing on this unless I've actually taught them. We show you how to literally optimize for love, and that will stay there. Okay, you will be today's news, tomorrow's news, and 5 years news, solidly ranking. No one can touch you. And because of that, we're, like, as I say, we're optimizing for long-term success. So this is what you're getting. So this actually is for sale for $3,997, the 24-hour ranking copy and paste system. So you've seen these stacks. I know you look at them and you think, yeah, whatever. I could sell each one of these for this price. You actually get the winning product finder. So if you find a winning product and you get $1,000 a day, 3 days, and you've paid for it, right? 50% conversion secrets. You know, this is where we use the power of free and we build that bridge. Again, 1.5 days and you've paid for it. So, you know, these are real world values, guys. I'm not trying to make this up. I could sell these for way more, but this is, you know, this is what I value them at. And also secret to ranking YouTube to Google formula. Now I've put $5,000. This is priceless. There are people that would pay millions for this, right? And also I give you the evergreen traffic secret, so they don't just drop off. You don't just get 1 day free ads, you get 5 years worth of free ads. Again, this is priceless. Again, I've put 3,997. So the total value here is 17,485. And if you've got one product to $1,000 a day, that's just your first 17 days. So easily worth that, right? So I've put together some special bonuses for you guys. I love Mike and I love the community, so I don't normally give these away, but what I'm actually going to do is give you a 4-module course, which is the ATS Essentials. And a little hint here, guys, it's actually this webinar. This webinar is broken up into this course. I'm actually going to show you a screenshot of it in a moment. And what that means is you're going to be able to give that away to convert your offers. It's the only thing I ever give away to convert all my products on my passive income ladder channel. You guys will be able to give it away to convert your offers. But not only that, you can sign up as an affiliate with me, and you can cloak it with something like Bitly. So you give them the Bitly link. So you say, if you purchase this product, you can get Paul Murphy's 24-hour ranking system. You give them the link. It converts your offers on the front end. So it converts your products and services. And on the back end, if anybody upgrades to this academy, then you get $800. So if you just got 1 sale a week, you'd be getting $41,600. And you're not even promoting my product. You're literally just using it to convert, but I'm rewarding you because people do come in and they, like you guys said today, people see what's possible, they start getting results, and then they want to go deeper. So you guys get that. That's the first bonus. And as you can see, this is a screenshot. I showed you the power of free, right? I showed you how to protect the downside. I showed you why free traffic is more powerful than paid when you're getting started. It's basically this webinar, and I just put each one of those sections as a separate video. People give me testimonials just for this. They absolutely love it. So you get to give this away, and this will convert your offer on the front end. This will actually make you more sales, and then you've got kind of double money coming in because you're getting money on the back end. And this is just to show you, this is obviously Groove Pages. You can see here lifetime access to Groove Pages plus free Google Ads white hat system, which is basically this webinar in four modules. And then I give them a link, and then when they purchase, they hit me up and say, Paul, you've got to give me that bonus. I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled to get going. And then they do it through your affiliate link, like I said. And then when they upgrade to the academy, which a lot of people do, because obviously once they see it, the possibilities, you get the commission. I just wanted to show you how we do that. And I only ever use that for B2B. So and then also, if you're thinking, okay, well, I don't know who's going to want it. Every single business on the planet wants traffic. Okay, and if you can give them free traffic on Google and you can let me show them how to do it, they're going to absolutely love you. So you're going to convert like crazy. And people start talking about your offer as well. People start sharing your offer around and stuff like that. So number 2, I showed you my 2-week channel review that I did with Todd. So because I actually charge $1,000 an hour. So if you guys want to hop on a call with me, I'll do a channel review. It takes me an hour to prepare it and an hour to do it. So that's why I value this at 1997. But I've put all the training in here as a fast action bonus for you guys, so that you and actually I show you exactly how to do it yourself. You don't actually need to hire me, right? You can do this yourself. So I give you all the resources, I give you the training, and I show you exactly what you can do. And when you do this channel review, if you add a little bit in here or you add a tag to one of these videos, you can suddenly skyrocket one of these videos. You can increase your money by tenfold just by making a couple of small adjustments. So this is going to give you all the data you need looking at your marketing. So this is why this is really important, and you don't need to hire me to do that. So I'm throwing that in as well. And this one, I think you'll love this one as well, because what I had a client recently a few years back, and he said to me, Paul, he said, it's all well and good, but I haven't got time to make videos. And I said, okay. He said, can I hire someone to do it? I said, yeah, sure. He said, I'm struggling with like how to train them. He said, could you just create some training for me to do it with them? And I said, what do you need? He said, well, obviously I want them to create the channel. I want them to create the videos. I want them to rank them, and I want them to put the affiliate on there. And I said, okay. And he said, can you just like create a training series? I said, okay. I said, what I'll do is I'll create this training series and I'll make it unbranded. So you can hand this off. They don't have to log into, you know, the training portal or anything like that. You can literally just hand this off to your team, and this is going to take all you need, obviously, before you go in there is give them the affiliate product. You give them this, and then they'll do it. And he basically hired someone. I think he paid them $10 an hour. And of course, like we said, we do one video for 1 hour. So 10 hours work was $100, right? For $10 an hour. And he had 10 videos ranking and he's making a fortune. And he didn't even do anything. He just literally gave it to somebody. So I'm going to give you this entire training that you can hand off to your team, and you can pay them whatever you think's fair. But he paid them $10 an hour for 10 hours, 10 videos, and you don't even have to do anything, right? You can go through this, you know, you have to go through this training so you can understand the fundamentals, but you give it to your team and they will literally then go and create all your videos for you. So I'm throwing that in. Again, this is not something I've ever sold separately, so I don't know what it's worth. I think 497 is probably fair, but I wouldn't actually normally sell this separately because I think you need this course. But I'm going to throw that in, guys, so you can actually have this as a bonus with Mike. So let me ask you this question, guys. What is a free ad space on the front page of Google worth to you? So if we paint a little picture, so if I was the CEO of Google, I phoned you up and I said, hey, Terry, hey, Karen, hey, Ted, John, Sally, whatever your name is, right? I've got a little opening here. You can have free ads on the front page of Google, but not only that, you can have billboards, which no one else can actually pay for. But not only that, you can choose as many products as you like for the next 5 years. But not only that, you can place them right at the top amongst the ads on the front page of Google and the front page of YouTube. And you can basically choose any product on the planet. Okay, you know, how much do you want to pay me for that? So have a think about it, guys. Like, what would you pay? Would you pay 5 grand? Would you pay 10 grand? Would you pay 25 grand? Would you pay 50 grand? There are companies out there that if they knew this exists, they would pay $50 million, because it's the, you know, it's the primest real estate on the planet is the front page of Google. It's where everybody looks for everything. So, but it's different for everyone. How much would you pay to get unlimited free targeted traffic to any product you can think of? Okay, so obviously you could see why it would be an amazing deal at $10,000. Now the actual price for this without the bonuses is $3,997. Okay, for the general public. Obviously I've got an amazing special offer especially for you guys today, and I've never ever sold it for this price with these bonuses ever, and I'm not making that up. This is a very special price, and obviously
Okay,
you could
Paul,
see
I'm
why
gonna
my
I'm
clients.
gonna jump in right here to
Yeah,
just explain what happened with this price point that's coming up.
yeah,
So, unbeknownst to me, I told Joe that I wanted Paul to do something special for the members. This is 100% true.
yeah.
Um, you're gonna, tell them the price, but um, I was I was hoping to do something like, save them $200 or something like that. And so Joe came up to me and gave me the price, and he said I asked him to do more, but he kind of like really pushed back and said, "Guys, I honestly can't." I was like, "Well, Joe, what's the price?" And then he gave me the price. You're about to find out. I said, "Whoa, Joe, I didn't ask you to have him do like that much, like 50% off. Like seriously, like you guys are going to win today. This is no joke. This is what I'm telling you is 100% true." I said, and I even told Joe, look, obviously, if somebody wants to do that, Joe, they can do that. But please, I'm looking for 20% off, maybe save them 20% off because, people have a business to run as well. And Joe goes, "Oh, well, I didn't know. So I asked them to do half off." I was like, "Ugh." And he kind of pushed back, but he's doing it. I said, all right, but is he upset with us? He says, no, he's going to do it. So just so you know, everybody, when Paul told you that you could sell his program and earn an $800 commission, well, you gotta just do the math. If some of you didn't do the math, you probably said, well, he's probably paying 40%. That means his price is 1997. So that's what he sells this thing for. It's 1997. And I'm probably letting the cat out of the bag, and there'll be a big reveal. But I kind of just told you that Joe said, "Can you do it for half off?" And I kind of feel guilty, just letting you know, Paul. We haven't spoken about that, and I know Joe asked, and you capitulated and said, "I'll do it," but I can't do anything more. And Joe even asked for more. And so that's kind of, I'm letting the cat out of the bag. This is definitely a true story. We asked people to do a
Yeah,
discount.
yeah.
Other people have paid or will continue to. This is a $2,000 course, and I believe you're getting it for half price today. Is that correct, Paul?
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna
You're
turn
gonna
it
get
back to
it.
you.
Yeah, we haven't got it
I
yet, but yeah,
messed up your
I'm
big
happy to
reveal,
reveal
but
it. Yeah,
this is a
cool.
true story. There's
Absolutely
nothing
true.
behind this. Like,
Absolutely 100% true.
go
So
for it.
yeah, so but yeah, people. I have actually got people queuing up to work with me for 15 grand, but you could see why they pay it, right? Obviously, if you get all these free ads on the front page of Google, so we'll do a quick recap. I'll go through this quite quickly, but you can see without the actual extra back end commission, this would be worth about $20,000, right? So you guys can get started. And again, I've never done this price before. I'm never going to do it again. And when this cart closes, that's it. It's going to go back up to the normal price. But you guys can get started for just $397, which is 3 payments. So you pay one today, one in a month, or one and another one in 2 months. Or you can do one time payment of $997 and you get lifetime access. And all you need to do is go to tripfunnels.com/Mike. So some of you are probably sitting on the fence. So let's just paint a quick picture. If all it did was stopped you spending a fortune testing out ads with no guarantee you're going to turn a profit, but instead got you free real estate with billboards on the front page of the 2 biggest search engines on the planet, would it be worth it? Yeah. If all it did was stopped you spending days stressing out over ads, not knowing if you're going to go bust, trying to compete with paid ads going up nearly 100% every year, and instead allowed you to play at marketing. No stress, guys, no ad accounts. No, who here has gone on holiday when they've been running ad accounts and then had a sneaky login? You're supposed to be with your family, you're supposed to be having a good time, but it's stressful. Like, I hate it. This is one of the reasons I do all this, because I hate ad accounts. If I actually do ads, I want to give it to an agency. I don't want to even think about it. But this allows you to play at marketing stress free with a system that lets you place any product, take up half the page of Google, 1, 2, and 3 in front of your buyers. Would it be worth it? Yeah, absolutely. Like, no brainer, right? And if all it did was stopped you from having zero advantage over your competition, knowing you literally have to fight them in the ring, like some of these big advertising platforms, you've got to give it to an agency, because this is a big red ocean. This is really difficult. A lot of people struggling. 99% of people are struggling with that method. And instead, upload your winning buyers list to Facebook or hand it off to an agency and spend a fraction of your profits. Your agency will love you because you're going to be giving them all the data. They don't have to go and test out loads of different audiences, because that's what they do, right? Either you do it or they do it, because they've got to find you buyers. Facebook doesn't know where your buyers are. You've got to it's got to find out. And it costs a lot of money. But if you give that to your agency is going to be like rubbing their hands saying, brilliant, half the work's done. Because Facebook just looks at that buyers list and goes, here you go, here's more buyers. So yeah, spend a fraction of your profits, which allows you 100% guarantee your success. You can't lose. Okay, this is protecting the downside. Yes, there's a little bit of money involved, which there is with every business. But if that was the case, would it be worth it? Knowing you have a system where you have zero chance of
Hey,
losing.
Paul,
Yeah.
hate to to jump in. I usually will only interrupt you when there's a technical problem. Nothing. Don't
Is
don't
there?
panic. Look at that face. There's a technical problem. I'm just gonna leave your face like that and let you just suffer.
Oh,
No.
am I
Okay. So
glitched?
here's
I can't
this is a
see.
message for everybody. There is a technical problem. So Paul is using Kartra instead of GrooveCell for this, because his company has been there forever and he is moving over to GrooveCell. But since he's on Kartra, I'm being told, one of our good friends, Michael Stevenson, told me he's noticing it blowing up in the chat, that the checkout is not working on Firefox. So those of you that are trying to buy in Firefox, the Kartra embed is not working.
Ah,
and it
really?
works on Chrome. Yeah. So Paul, you got to move to GrooveCell. And so you get
Okay.
away with it
Yeah,
this
he's
one
right.
time. This one time. I'm just teasing. So if everybody's having a problem, and Mark Royer says, I'm in, baby. Ken says, I can't see the buy button on the page. Okay,
We're
try
coming back
Chrome.
to it. We're going to do a Q&A. I'm going to leave you on the page in a sec. In fact, I
Yeah, all
think
right. So
we're,
go
we're
to
coming to
Chrome,
it.
use the
We've got
Chrome
two
browser.
slides. That's it. And then we'll be there.
Yeah, go to the Chrome browser, and click the link that Donna posted in the chat there, tripfunnels.com/Mike, or copy
Mike,
that,
yeah.
or just type that in into Chrome, and you'll be
Just
all
type it
set.
into
And
Chrome without putting all the HTTP in. It should forward. Yeah. So sorry about that, guys. I hadn't tested it on Firefox. So it was just the way I set the link up. So yeah, my apologies for
yeah,
that, guys.
it's
You
not
should be
even
able to
that
do
it
it on
doesn't
Chrome.
forward. It's not that it doesn't forward. It's that the iframe doesn't load on Firefox. The cartridge they can't hit the checkout button. They can only see one price. It's like it doesn't stretch the width on
Oh,
Firefox.
right.
So yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So
you
yeah,
might be able
you're
to
all
try
set.
Safari. I don't use Firefox, so I apologize, guys. That's obviously I will fix that. After this call, I'll go and fix it. If you guys want to hit me up as well, I'll give you, I'll figure it out and I'll get you in. Don't worry. Cool. Can you still hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
That uncomfortable silence was me on mute. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
That
cool.
was
That's
on
cool.
mute, and just go
I
back.
thought I'd lost everyone. Right. Okay. So yeah. So obviously, just to recap, guys, if you want to get these listings, if you want to become the top affiliate in your industries, any product or service or anything you want to promote, using this without spending a penny on ads. If you want to become the top channel or the top creator for all of these different products, if you want to get reams and reams and reams and reams of sales coming in every day, again, without spending a single penny. Nine times out of 10, I actually don't even turn on ads. I just do this all with free traffic. Then that is it. That's what I've got for you guys. This is it. So I'm going to leave it on this page now, and then I think we're going to do a Q&A. But yeah, you just need to go to tripfunnels.com/Mike. If you do that on Chrome, yeah, as Mike said, then that's going to work. I apologize, it doesn't work on Firefox. I had no idea that was an issue. So, but I will get that fixed for you guys. You'll see on the check. Actually, if you can't see the checkout, you won't see it. But if you hit me up inside Mike's Facebook group, or if you want to email me at support@tripfunnels.com, so this domain support, then I'll make sure that we get it sorted. So yeah, that's what I have, guys. So yeah, any questions or anything, or Mike might want to jump in first.
Let me jump in. I'm sure Donna's got some questions because she likes to really help the members out with that to make sure that the questions that she can't answer in a private message, that sometimes she'll have one or two because you did a
Yeah.
good job. There's not 30. All right, so there's a couple of notes that I put here, Paul, and if
Yeah.
I can just find that, just give me just a second.
Sure.
All right, boop, boop, boop. This is what happens when I use like text edit software, and and I cannot find the notes, but I remember basically what they were. So number one was that you are saying that people pay you $15,000 uh,
Yeah.
to work with you. You have an
Mm.
hourly rate of $1,000, et cetera, et cetera. So one thing I wanted to point out is
Yeah.
that when you get good at this and you can do this, you can actually set up your own agency or have your own clients that will just
Yeah.
say, "This sounds great, but can you just do it for me?" So that's number one. Uh,
Yeah.
number two is I want to remind you that this also works for your own product, right? And
Mm.
so if you wonder like, well, if it works for your own product, Mike, why didn't you do it? Well, number one, I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do this. And number two, when you're getting ready to launch your product, you know, you sometimes don't even update your terms of service for 3 days after you launch. There's so many things to do. So I'm going to be frank with you. I know that people like Paul Murphy are going to do this. And I say to myself, I need to get my SEO ranking to beat Paul, but I've got to make a JV video. I've got to work on the copy, make the page live. I'm up till 7 a.m. getting the page ready. You know what Paul Murphy does? Paul, he knows these other people are teasing on Facebook doing their product launch. So Paul just says, "Oh, I see where this is going. I'm getting the video out first." And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 20, you'll be able to beat the vendor to it because they have to do 1,000 things to get ready for the launch. They simply leak their product coming soon. Paul has a video ranked the next day. As soon as I say coming in June, 3 months
Mm.
later, he's already ranking. The other thing I wanted to mention, Paul Paul doesn't just rank for one product. He's like, oh, sneaky Mike, look at that. He's got an offer with GrooveCell, but he's also got Groove Pages. It was once Groove Apps, but now it's Groove Funnels. If I have something that says Groove, he's making a video for it. Tip number 4 or 5 that I've learned from Paul is, even if it's a page for ClickFunnels or GrooveFunnels or any software or anything out there, whatever matches his LTV criteria to say I'm going to make one video a day, Paul says, well, there's other things that they might want to do. Russell had Actionetics, he had Backpack, he had there could be different things within the brand. You showed that you ranked for 4 different videos for their JV page. So sometimes you could look at a product. I'll give you guys a little tip. We're Groove Funnels. You might want to beat maybe Paul to the uh, to the chase here. Do something for Groove Member, Groove Desk, Groove Video when these things start coming out, or go rank for them now. So that's my point. Is sometimes you can do the review, you can do the quick tutorial, how to build a landing page in 3 minutes, free trial, all these different things he showed you. You can have 5, 6 videos ranking for a brand. You're just dominating the different search terms that people dominate for the brand. Brilliant. Number 5 that I find fascinating. Paul didn't even touch upon it. And maybe it's not necessarily his business model, but I do want to say it out there for you folks out there. When you go mass market, you can do things for the new Apple Pencil or the new AirPods or the Canon ADD, right? The things that are actually getting, you know, a million times more search than Groove Digital or Groove Funnels. And that's the truth, because these products are mass in market. And there's different ways that you can make money with that like Amazon's affiliate program will pay you per click. So you can just review the product. And Paul was saying that's basically what these guys are doing, is unboxing. So you could like sort of like do like an unboxing without buying the product and just do the images, the promo images. So Apple comes out with the new Magic Keyboard, you get some of the images, put them into a montage, and simply say, Apple keyboard review. You have some of the things, a recap of everything, so people don't have to watch the 1 hour keynote of Tim Cook and everybody, and you condense it maybe into a minute and a half. You show some images, and at the bottom you say, click here to get it on Amazon, and you get paid per click. So I'm just giving you some ideas. I know maybe Paul's like, yeah, Mike, you can do that, but I don't teach that. But I'm just trying to give you some ideas that this can can really blow up. Another note, Paul, that I took is, Donna, if you can help me put in chat, there's an AI company that I shared with you the other day, that does the does the speech. So check this out. You can record your voice. They have you read some things for about 8 minutes, and you record your voice. And then what you can do, it's a podcast. No, it's actually so much more than that, Donna. But if you can help me remember what that was. Um, Basically, the tool is originally made to do like lots of different things. You can take an audio from your podcast or a video, and it transcribes it, and then with artificial intelligence, if I said something, I'm just going to talk here like if I might have made a mistake and I meant to say Groove Webinars. But if I said a Freudian slip and I said, here's another cool thing you can say with what you can do with Webinar Jam. Well, when you get when you get off the call, Donna says, Mike, I don't know if you know, but you actually said Webinar Jam like 4 times on the call. Oh my God, did I? Well, now I can go in and I can just take the transcriptions and I can write Groove Webinars, and it'll change my voice because it knows my voice, and I can re-output the file. It's good for podcasts. But here's the cool thing that it can also do. You can take your script that you write out in a Google Doc, and you can paste it, and in your voice will say the following. So the Canon ADD is now one of the best cameras for video for vloggers on the web. Not only, and it will sound in your voice, in your intonations, and everything like that. So I don't see Donna getting me, so I'm going to turn it back over to Paul. Okay. And while Paul's talking and closing, I'm going to get you that tip. But Paul, remember you said about making videos? There's things with like Adobe's. They have this
Oh,
like free tool. I forget what it is. Canva now. You can go to Canva. You could use their slides to create like video presentation slides. Donna just got me the name of it. It's called podcasterpress.io. So podcasterpress.io. Was that it, Donna? I don't remember that being the name of it. but it could be. Let me just see the front page.
So I just typed in was it. I went back and looked at our chat. We were talking about it. You just got off the podcast, but then we went to phone. So I don't have it in our, I don't have the
Yeah,
link in our chat.
I'll find it, folks. That's not it. I'll get the name. Maybe somebody's typing it in uh, in there for us. Nobody yet. Okay, so Paul. Yeah, so I just wanted to touch that my mind was firing on some different ways that people could obviously use this for their own products, as
Yeah,
well as being an affiliate, even
yeah,
e-commerce
absolutely.
with Amazon and things like that. So back to
Yeah.
you while I go look for that AI technology.
Yeah, so guys, if you're kind of wondering what to, I mean, I called it Affiliate Tube Success because I developed, because obviously my business is affiliate marketing, but this is not strategies for affiliate marketing. This is strategies for getting to the front page of Google. So if you guys want to like literally use it for your, if you want to like, one of my first clients, like Todd was my first, my second client was Rob. He was actually a consultant. So I helped him become like put his auto webinar up and sell his services via I think it was Everwebinar. So we put an Everwebinar up and I built him a funnel and we literally just sent traffic to the funnels. It just like filling up his calendar. So if you guys are a consultant and you want to fill up your calendar, if you guys want to do some drop shipping, like you think of some of those high ticket products that you can do out there. And some of you might not have heard of drop shipping, but obviously Mike's got a product called GrooveCart. So you could put these products on GrooveCart. And what you can do is you can basically have them shipped from China or anywhere. You could literally phone up a warehouse and say, look, I'm going to sell your product, but you're going to ship it for me. And then you can install an app on like a shopping cart. And all you've got to do is go and put these videos up in front of people that are buying them. Okay, and there's going to be thousands and thousands of people looking for these products. And then you just have this app go and ship it to them. It's all completely hands off. So if you wanted to do, you know, like a lot of people are struggling with online commerce at the moment because advertising platforms are becoming very expensive. But if you wanted to use this, you can go and crush it. Like people won't even know where you've come from. So you guys can definitely use it for that. If you want to do MLM, okay, it's not something I have a massive amount of experience with, but you can use it for MLM, for network marketing. If you want to sell anything online, if you want to develop, if you want to, like, if you guys have got a charity, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Like I've helped, like anybody you can think of in any industry, I've usually helped them. Also, there's a lot.
Hey, Paul, it's Donna. I was just jumping in. It might be easier to say what industry you can't use this strategy with than it is that you can.
Well, what's it?
Because
What?
it, because it
Yeah,
works
that's a
in
good
so many.
question. That's a really good question.
Right.
So some of the industries that you can't use with advertising, like for instance, you can't advertise. Can you advertise CBD with Facebook? I'm not sure, but there's certain things you can't advertise on Google and YouTube. They're really against it. But when it comes, because this is organic, you can advertise them using this. So if you've got like a little bit of an industry that you know the advertising agencies are a bit against, you can use it. The only thing you can't use it for, obviously, is adult and things like that. So you can't use it for
Well, I'll
those
give you
sort
an
of industries.
example, Paul. I'll give you an example, right? Um, this is America, America, man, right? And
America.
there are gun lovers, right? We know that there's gun lovers. I'm giving an example, folks, here. I
That's a
know that that's a
yeah,
sensitive subject, right?
it
But
works. Yeah.
maybe there's some, there's when it comes to guns, there's holsters and there's safety things and all these different things, gun safes, all these different things, whatever that may be. Just as an example here, you
Mm,
can't advertise that on Facebook.
no.
However, you can make these videos for these types of products and do
Mm,
do that quick little review like you were talking about, and you can now rank because people are searching for this thing. Nobody else has made this video, and you suddenly become number one, and you're
mm,
ranking, and you're now an affiliate for something that's selling for 600, seven
yeah.
hundred dollars, and they're paying you 20% because it's a hard cost item. And Paul,
Yeah.
real quick, I did remember the name of the company. I put it into the chat. It's called Descript. So it's the word script with DE in front of it, or like description, but it's just descript.com. Now check that out later, folks. Um, but that is a really cool tool. It's a freemium product. So most likely for 90% of us, what they give you for free will work. And like I said, you can check that out later, but you could train your voice for about 8 minutes and then upload something and it will actually spit out an audio file that sounds like you actually did it. And the beautiful thing about it is they only allow one voice per account, so that way it can't, and you can't use it to do Obama and all these different things. And so it's meant to be used for you to correct your own videos when you say things wrong, or your podcast, or anything like that. So it's a pretty cool tool. And Paul, I think it'll work great for you, for people that are shy about
Yeah,
recording their voice, and they're like, hey, but I
yeah,
like to write. They can just type this thing, and within, maybe it takes a minute to render, and they can have
yeah,
a 7-minute video in their own voice that they just put on
yeah,
top of slides that they make at Canva. Because this is about automation, right? We want to do things. We want to
yeah,
make this a factory to do a video a day. So
yeah.
Paul, um, about 7 minutes ago, Joe told me that 21 people. So we're probably up to 25, maybe even 30 people so far. I'm going to read off some names just to
Cool.
congratulate some people right now. We want to say congratulations to Mark Royer, Brian Hill, Gordon Amthor, Manuel Ten Inco, Kim Cohn, Gordon T. McMurray, Valencia Horde, Mary K. Wade, Rick Thomas, Ken Wilson, George Compton, Linda Lamont, David Mason, Peter Mongaro. No, let me try that. Moen Garro, Anita Gerhard, Jorge Frigules or George, Alan Kenroy, Danielle or Daniel Passarelli, probably from the northeast of the United States with a name like that, where all my Italian friends live. Baldy Lake, great name there. Eric Ruth, Stephen Russell, Mark Jovan or Jovan, and Kevin Guvia. And that is from 10 minutes ago. So if I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean we didn't see you. But Joe put that in there right after the price went live. So just wanted to say quick shout out to everybody there, and that's a testament to you, Paul,
Thank
about
you.
the
Thank
content.
you
So
so much, guys. I'm
I'll
really
ask
looking forward to working with you.
you
Yeah.
got it. I'll ask Donna if she has any questions because I
I do.
hijacked that.
There are a
Cool.
couple of questions, Paul, if you don't mind answering a few
Yeah.
of them. I'll
I'm
Sure.
gonna
start with
Donna,
my
I'm gonna shout out real
favorite one.
quick.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
going to shout out real quick. Joe just pasted Mel West, Jeffrey Edwards, Yoshido Tamiya. Okay, but I won't do that anymore. They did that.
Thanks.
But
I want to
go ahead.
start with my favorite question, Paul. Favorite
Yeah.
question of the day was from Mark. So, what if everyone here tries to rank for Groove Pages? My answer was the Groove Pages team will be very, very happy. But what's the
Yeah.
actual answer?
Well, that is one of the most common questions we get asked, and I was hoping someone was going to ask me that. Okay, so what we do with that, okay, so if you think of any product or service on the planet that you want to put, so we'll take Groove Pages as an example, but we'll also say you're bringing something brand new to the market, so nobody's searching for this product, but but it works as well with Groove Pages. It's now saturated. I'm in there. Lots of other people are in there, right? I'm not saying it is saturated. I don't think it is, but I do think that you're going to have a little bit more competition for those big buying keywords for that carousel, right? So what we do in that case is we will look for basically we just make a list of all the reasons why anyone wants to buy those products. Okay, why do people want to buy Groove Pages? Why do people want to buy Groove Cell? And we will make a list, usually of about 10 different reasons. Now, if you think about it, you guys, when you go into a shop, right, to buy something, sales are going on all the time. A sale is just a decision, right? If you decide to go around your mum's for dinner, that's a sale, that's a decision. If you decide to go in, when you go into a shop and you want to buy a pair of shoes, say they're like $20 more than you'd normally spend, and the shopkeeper's nowhere to be seen, you've got to make a decision. So you've kind of got to make a sale. So it could be, you're going to a wedding, okay, I'll pay a bit more. They're going to be better quality, they're going to last a bit longer, okay, I'll pay a bit more. They're higher fashion, I'm going to look cool, okay, I'll pay a bit more. But this is going on so fast in our brain, we don't need it. But every single decision, everything we do is a sale. So all we need to do is just come up with 10 reasons. But people don't just go and buy Groove Pages because it's, oh, look, there's Groove Pages, I'm going to go and buy that. No, there's a reason. Okay, some people have got websites, some people build funnels, some people want to grow their business. And all you've got to do is list out all those reasons. And then you do the first step of that power of 3 where I showed you. You go and look for the search for traffic. You go and put that into Google and you say, right, why are people buying this? And what that does is that'll help Mike grow his business for people that had never even heard of Groove Pages, because you're putting that product in front of somebody that needs to solve a solution. And then the way we do that is we'll create a demo. So what I'll do is I'll say to people, right, you're here because you want to grow your business. Okay, you want to make more money in your business. Okay, so what we've got here is I'm going to show you how you can create a simple funnel, and I'm going to show you how this is going to put all of your traffic in front of the right people, and then we're going to take them on a journey. And this funnel is where you go into a shop and the shopkeeper will say, okay, well, you need a pair of socks, and you need a pair of, with those pants, you need a pair of socks, you need a shirt, you need a, and it's going to make you more money, and it's going to take them on the journey. And then you show them the tool and you say, and by the way, if you want to go and get groove pages, you can get it. And in fact, if you want to get my funnel, quite often we'll do that, right? If we show them the tool, we'll give them a bonus that's relevant. So we'll say, you can get it, you can actually get that funnel I just used for this product as a bonus. So what you're doing there, and you've got to remember as well, guys, like everything is searched for on Google first. Like anywhere else on the planet, the first place everyone goes to is Google. And there are, you could list out 1,000 reasons why anybody needs to buy any product, but you just need to list out 10. And if you solve a pain point for someone and you use the product that they're going to need, you're going to help Mike grow his business. You're going to help yourself. You're going to bring a new product to the market, because if there's a reason why someone needs it, you'll be able to launch it. So hopefully that answers your question.
That was a great answer. There are a couple of people who've mentioned there's no buy button on the page. This is another thing that we've noticed. If you are on Chrome and you don't see a buy button, it's because the checkout form hasn't loaded yet. So give it a minute, let that checkout form load fully. It's taking a couple of seconds, I guess, because so many people are hitting that page.
It's probably
Donna,
been maxed out. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you stepped away, Donna. Did you hear me talk about the Firefox issue we were having? Were you
Yes.
there for that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a different issue. Got it. Just
Yep.
making sure.
Yeah, this is just, it took about 10 seconds for the checkout to load for me on the page.
Got it. Now that's
Yeah, it's probably because we've got so much traffic.
Yeah, this is why you should move to GrooveCart.
Yeah, I'm moving. You guys should move because it's so fast. I just, everything's all been built before I even knew who Mike, well, I knew who Mike was, but before I knew about his company. So it's all coming over. Don't worry, I promise you that.
Paul, you have the ability to go into Kartra and, excuse me, and get a checkout embed or a checkout link. So what we can do is, if you want to just log in there real quick while Donna talks really slow about the next question, you could paste that
come out,
into the Skype group, and then what we'll do is we will paste the direct link for some people. Well,
can you still see my screen?
We don't see your screen anymore, just your face.
Yeah, it's off now.
Okay, cool. Right, I'll log in then.
Okay. All right. So,
Donna,
Donna,
I'm going to talk really slowly about the next question.
yeah,
I do have a number of questions here. And
so, Paul, what we're going to do when you come back, we're going to put you into a speed round, because Donna's saying there's a number of questions and we want to respect everybody's time. So when you do come back and start answering the questions, maybe we can try to get every question in 30 seconds. So we'll go to speed round questions.
Here's a question that you can probably contribute to, Mike. There are people who have asked, like, if I'm using this to sell my own product, how do I do that without losing credibility by recommending my own product?
Well, Don, I think that's a great question. And I'm not doing that for filler time, right? Because we had the same issue this week, right? We were creating a video for our promotion tools. And if you haven't seen that, folks, we announced a video about our promotion tools yesterday. And promotion tools are ways for you to empower your affiliates to help you sell your product. Rather than just giving them a link and saying, hey, here's your link, go figure it out, you can say, here's an email, or you could say, here's 4 different emails, one that talks about this, one that talks about this. Hey, you know what? We'll give you banners. We will give you a blog review that you can go post on your blog. And what Don is talking about right here is we came down to the video review. And so we were talking, exploring all different possibilities, right? You know, there's 8 people on a call, and one of the people on the call says, just to get this straight, am I doing a review of this video for affiliates to use, and it's a generic review?
So was that to me? I was.
Oh, no. Mike was telling a story, but then we lost him.
Oh, okay. So could you just tell me where I get this link? Because I'm a bit confused.
Sure. Under the product itself, so your main page, your product listing page, when you go and get the link, you should be able to grab the link direct to checkout.
Okay,
If you
so
can't get it there, you might have to edit the product to
checkout. Here
use
we
a
go.
Kartra hosted checkout. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, you
Okay,
guys,
so multi-price. That's the one we
you guys
want.
don't hear
Yeah.
me, huh?
Yep. If you
Okay.
want to just shoot that to me in a Skype chat, in our Skype chat, then I can post it to
It's
everyone.
kind of
Hey,
like
Donna, when did I bounce out? Do you hear me?
I hear you now. You just came back, Mike. You were saying about during the
Okay.
meeting when somebody said, how do I make that video where we're talking, recommending and reviewing our product to our people?
I've sent you the link, but I'm not
Either
sure
the
that's the right
internet is
one.
breaking. We'll try it out. We'll test it out, Paul. All right. So to
Okay.
finish my thought there, what we just decided to do was say, hey, let's do kind of like you know, 10 things. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Watch Mojo, but Don and I were talking about how addicting that is. And it's like 10 times actors were caught with their screaming on their mic, in Hollywood, or, it's a top 10 list, right? And so so what we've decided to do for our own product is say, um, here are the top 10 things you might not know about GrooveCell, right? And then so you start number 10, and then a little bit of thing. Number 9, number 8, number 7, number 6, so it's you basically your best impactful bullet points. And then when you get to done with number 2, you say, now for some honorable mentions. Number 1, it's free for your affiliates to join. Number 2, and then you give some honorable mentions, and then you say, okay, now for the number 1 reason, the number 1 thing that you probably didn't know about GrooveCell, and then you give it. So what you would do, since you don't really want to write a review about your product, it's a little disingenuous to make it seem like it's a third-party review. Just rank. Google doesn't care that it's a review. You could even use the term review and say GrooveCell review if that was me doing it for my product, right? And just call it the top 10 things you didn't know. And people will consider that to be a review. What they want is a short summary. Can you do this? Are there any merchant fees? Do you have to put a credit card, right? They want the bullets. And so you could call it a review, do it as a top 10, like go to watchmojo.com after this call on YouTube, follow that format, and that's how you would do a video for your own product. And I should follow the 45-minute speed round questions as well. But Donna, did we get that link for Paul? If not, then we'll figure it out. But Paul, we don't
We're
see your
we're
screen,
working on it,
or
but yeah, Paul, you
okay,
Yeah,
can
we're getting there.
cover that later.
okay.
I think I've got it now. Maybe.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
Right. Checkout. Is this the right one?
let's see. Okay, so Paul's going to send us something
Oh,
on
it
Skype.
looks
So
it looks like quite a long link. I've done Kartra hosted checkout. I'll just send it to Donna and see if she thinks that's right.
in embed.
Yeah, that still looks like the code. We'll get it for you later. We'll post it with the replay. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and we do have some lightning round questions if you want to handle those. We're getting lots and lots of questions. We're definitely not going to be able to cover every question that everyone has today. But one of them is whether or not you're taking PayPal or PayPal credit.
Right. So I wasn't taking PayPal because let me just share my screen again so you guys can see the link. So I wasn't taking PayPal because I wasn't sure that I could do monthly payments with PayPal, but I have got it set up and I can
Okay,
take
Paul.
PayPal. So if
Yes,
anybody
let me
wants
say
to
this.
do PayPal, I can add that in. I can add it in now, actually.
Add it in now, and then I'm going to answer the next question. So while Paul doesn't have to type and talk at the same time, because that's how typos go in when you're adding things in. So Paul, take your time there, add PayPal. So for the answer is,
Yeah.
if you wait and refresh your screen when Paul tells you, you will be able to take PayPal. That's number 1. Number 2 is you will be able to take PayPal credit. So Donna, if you want to give a shout out when I'm done here to the person that's probably done a favor for everybody here, they're going to like what we have to say. So PayPal credit works like this. It works only on prices that are $100 or more. It works only on one-time payments, and it works only for people in the US that qualify. All right. So if you don't live in the US or you don't qualify, certainly take Paul's option for the 3 monthly payments of $397, and he'll do the financing. Okay, let's talk about the benefits of PayPal credit. Number 1, when you refresh the page and the PayPal option is there, choose the $997 option, and then click the button that says PayPal instead of credit card. You're going to go to PayPal. PayPal credit is no technology that we add to a shopping cart. It's simply something that PayPal recognizes when you're checking out. They say if it's in the United States and it's a price point over $100, it will always show at checkout. So all you simply do is you take the PayPal option for $9.97, and when it says to pay with your PayPal balance or your credit card, go down to the bottom and say pay instead with PayPal credit. So just choose PayPal credit at PayPal. That's all we're saying. You're going to refresh the page, click on the $9.97, choose to pay with PayPal. When you get to PayPal, click on pay with PayPal credit. They're going to say, we need your social security number and another like 2 lines of data. They want to confirm your address. They'll run a quick credit report. As soon as that's done, they're going to give you some good news. Hey, you have 2,000, 3,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000. They will qualify you for PayPal credit. You can use that to purchase anything that is a one-time payment. Now, here's the benefit of this. This is the most exciting part of it. They will allow you to make that payment today. They will have 0 interest, and you don't have to make any payments for 6 months. And if you paid that off in the next 6 months, then it's 0 interest. Obviously, the interest starts, I believe, in 6 months. They might even go backwards to day one. I don't know the terms. They give you the terms. But the bottom line is, if you want to get access to this today and not have to pay it off between now and the next 6 months with 0 interest, well, when Paul lets us know, you will just hit the refresh button. You'll just hit refresh the page, I mean,
We're good to
and then
go.
you will see an option. You're good to go. Okay, everybody.
We're
So,
good to go. Yeah.
Paul, I'm going to share my screen, okay, with everybody.
Okay,
I'm going to
I'll
show
take
them
mine
how
off.
that works, okay? And you folks can let me know if you're seeing my screen in just a minute. So, change presenter, right?
And while Mike's
And
doing that, Paul,
Yeah.
there are a couple of people who've had issues with purchasing,
Okay.
and they'd like to know your support information so they can reach out to you for some help.
Yeah. So if they can hit me up at support@tripfunnels.com. So the actual link that's on the screen that you see is, well, you did see, but it was tripfunnels.com/Mike. So if you go to support@tripfunnels.com, that's my email address. You guys can all hit me up, and any problems you've got, we'll obviously get them fixed. No problem.
Perfect. I just typed that in the chat for everyone. Again, it's support@tripfunnels.com.
okay.
Yeah.
So let me walk you through how to do this with PayPal credit. Okay, you don't want to choose this option. You want to choose the $9.97, click continue. Okay, then you're going to put in your billing information here, just like this. Okay, and then you'll hit continue. All right, and now you will choose PayPal. And when you go to PayPal, just like this, it's going to open up to PayPal in a new window. You're going to log in. You might already be logged in. Make sure you're logged into the right account if you have 2 PayPal accounts. Okay, now you can see I'm already logged in. Okay, and what I'm going to do is right here, I simply click on apply now. And that's going to ask me for, to log in, to double check. And then I'm not going to walk you through it, but you just follow that process. Okay, so so again, just one more time, we go to you go to the page that's in the chat there. Okay, and then you will choose this option right here, fill out all the information, click on PayPal. When you get to PayPal, choose PayPal credit. Let's talk about the benefits of that again. If you live in the United States and you qualify, you can make that payment today and get access to Paul's course and do everything with it. And you will get 0 interest rate and 0 payments for 6 months. So you can pay this thing off interest-free over the next 6 months, okay? So that answered that question, and thank you to the person that asked that question. Paul, if you want to take your screen back just to put that final slide up there, if they've got any
Yeah.
questions,
We can
see
do
that
that.
stuff here.
Let me just.
And then we're going to speed round. Donna, what do you say? 5 more questions, or did you want to get more in?
That's, it looks like I have about 6 or 7 right here. I think we could speed round for those, right?
All right, Paul, you got 30 seconds per question. It's like you're on.
Okay. How do I take the screen back? Have I done
I
it?
got to change presenter, and hopefully,
Okay.
let's see. Yep, I'm going to do that for you.
Okay.
Let's go find. Who should we make presenter? Perry Coleman, Paulo Hikes, Paul Winkler. Nah, how about Paul Murphy? Why don't we do that? All right. You're now kind of
I do think that would be quite a funny thing to do one day, is actually just make someone random a presenter. Right, okay, so let me bring this. Oh, show my screen. Yes. Yes, we're back, I think. Okay.
Perfect. All
Cool.
right, so
Yeah.
now we're going to go.
I can't actually read the questions, so someone's gonna have to read them to me
Oh,
unless I can read them.
we're going to do lightning round. So I'll read you the question and then you answer in 60 seconds
Yeah,
or less so we can get in the last couple ones.
let's do it.
So here we go. Do you need a new YouTube channel for each product that you promote, or can you use one channel?
Okay, so you need a YouTube channel for each niche, okay, because it's going to confuse everybody. And so we set up a brand new YouTube channel for every single niche. And it's actually good practice to promote more than one product in each channel because it kind of varies up the content. So yeah, choose a very broad niche. So, and then you can, and what we generally tend to do is we will go very, very specific on the product. And it's the way Facebook, if you remember Facebook when it grew in 2004, it launched, but it started to really grow in about 6, 7. It basically was launching when 2004, it was going into one school and then another, and then they called it the little bighorn. So we do that with products. We go really very specific. We make the channel about a broad niche. We go very specific with a product and then we start building it out. So yeah, or you can just create like 5 different products with one big niche, which is a strategy we definitely do. Yeah.
Awesome. How long should a video be?
Right, as short as possible, especially to start with. So we generally go somewhere between 3 and 10 minutes, depending on the type of video we're creating. If it's literally just here's the product, go and get it, we can do it very short. If we need to create a bit of a demo or something like that, there's a couple of magic spots that YouTube loves. YouTube loves 10-minute videos and it loves videos that are over an hour. But that's a different strategy really. So if you hit those, you usually get a little bit of love from YouTube. But for ranking, very, very short.
Great. Where do you put the product link?
Okay, so we put the product link above the fold in the video. So where it says show more, we put the product link there. And we sometimes put them in the description as well.
Does YouTube have any trouble with affiliate links in videos or descriptions?
Yeah, we have to cloak it. You can use Bitly, it's free. So we just cloak with Bitly, or you can use your own domain if you want to. So it's quite nice to read. It's quite nice to use your own domain. But to start with, you can just use Bitly. It's free, no problem at all with YouTube.
Or Pretty Links. Or if you have Pretty Links, it's a free
yeah.
plugin to use on your WordPress blog.
Yeah, if you've got a WordPress blog, Pretty Links is, yeah, as Mike said, it's completely free. So yeah, I use Pretty Links. It's amazing and it's free.
Unless you create branded links instead of branding Bitly. That's a nice benefit to it.
Actually, I had somebody recently ask me, does Groove have a way of forwarding a domain? So could you use Groove in any way with as a Bitly thing?
You
I actually someone asked me.
absolutely could.
You
Groove
could.
does create tracking links for you. So you can go into Groove, create a new tracking link and use
We're
that.
going to have custom domains where it'll be on your own domain as well. And let me give you one more tip. You know, I used to do this all the time. It depends if you know, when you start seeing the success, this would be something I would do. I would invest when I know I've got the product. I would invest at $12 per year, and I would get the domain and redirect my affiliate link. So let's just say I was promoting your product, right? Let's just say Trip Funnels or something, right? I would buy the domain tripfunnelsreview.com or tripfunnelsbonus.com, and I would put that right in, and that's going to make it look like it's not that you're trying to dupe anybody or anything like that, because you have the words review there, but people's brain connect. Well, if look at that .com, it actually has the brand in it. This has to be legit, and then that will go right over to the page, and then they will land at the page and say, oh, this is the actual .com website. Everything seems copacetic. And for $12, for $12, something like that is really going to make you look even more authoritative.
Yeah, and if you did that for Affiliate Tube Success Review, which is probably available because I haven't got it, go get it, guys. If you did that with that, I'm never going to be upset about that because you're sending traffic to me. So I'm happy. We'll win, right? So yeah, nobody gets upset, and it's brilliant. I love that strategy. I'm going to do that.
So I have 2 more questions for you, Paul. The first
Cool.
is this program appropriate for a complete beginner?
Yes, 100%. I make it very, very like easy, simple to understand. Okay, so yeah, you can like it's step by step. So yeah, absolutely. I made it for a beginner. I've made it for people who are just getting started as much as people who have got businesses that they want to use it to grow. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the final question is from me.
Okay.
We have had only 4% or so of our members on this webinar. Very,
Okay.
very small percentage of our members on this webinar. I know that they're going to eat up this replay, and I'm wondering if we can keep this offer available to them for a couple of days to give them time to get the replay and take you up on this offer. How long can we keep it open?
You can keep it open and you can put it in your thing because I love you guys. I love Mike. Or yeah, you can have it. You can have it as long as you want.
All right, so at least
Oh, you're awesome.
until Sunday.
But you're the only
Well, thank
people
you.
who I'm ever going to give this to. So if you guys come and get this, you have to come through Mike.
All right, great. Well, then we'll lock it behind Groove Digital Academy. And I have just one last question as well, and that's so Donna, your question was it for newbies? Oh, okay. I don't know if you spoke about this, Paul. And if you
Yeah.
did, just forgive me and say, yep, Mike, that's when you were chomping down your egg salad sandwich. Um, does this work for two things? Number one, for local businesses. And
Yes.
number two, does it work for people that do consulting for local businesses?
Yeah.
Because those people are the hungriest to pay for consultants because they're like, I don't tell me about the labor pains, just show me the baby. Like they don't even want to know how you do it. That you can
Yeah.
just say, I'll get you the lead. So kind of like you did with the wedding people. So I don't know if you touched upon that, but last question.
I've not touched upon it. It's super, super hot, as Mike said. And if you think about it, if you go and create a video, just think of a name of a restaurant or a local service in your area and and you put up a video with the name of that town and the name of that service or that thing, local business, you're going to rank immediately. You're going to have zero competition and hardly anybody's doing it. It is wide open. Like somebody could make a business off the back of actually creating a massive agency doing this because it's wide open and nobody's doing it. So yeah, and I actually haven't had that many. I've had so many people ask me to create a course around that specifically because they think that, a lot of people think, oh, well, you could make a lot of money just like going after local businesses, right? But this will actually, you don't need it. It's all inside here. So you can actually, yeah, if you guys want to learn this and then go and serve local businesses, create agencies or anything, this is, if you can imagine, right, if you guys had thought about starting a Facebook agency 5 years ago, if you think about it, like if you go and start a local business agency with this model, you're going to be the first of anyone that ever gets this that's going to be able to go and crush it and literally corner the market. Those Facebook agencies that started 5 years ago are making millions. So and there was just a few people thinking, oh yeah, well this is not a bad idea, but that's exactly what this is. Like this is a perfect agency model, not just for local business. If you want to go and sell it to people with Shopify or Groove Cart stores, like literally online stores.
Anybody that needs traffic, and the
Anybody
thing
that
we're
needs
going to wrap
traffic,
up
yeah.
here,
And you could,
folks.
I mean, the agency, this is open wide for agencies, guys. If you want to start an agency, this is the prime opportunity right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and the thing with local, don't be fooled. When we say local, this is the biggest misnomer with local. When you say local, people think that that means you've got to get in your car and go talk to the nail salon and to the the dry cleaners and stuff. No, we're not talking about your local market, which you certainly can do. What we mean by local, it's just another term for brick and mortar businesses. So what that means is if you want to run a virtual company like Paul does and have a lifestyle business, your agency can help local businesses in Australia, even if you live in Florida. You
Yeah,
could be on the beaches in Costa Rica and have a customer that has a local business in Tempe, Arizona. So the world is your oyster. They have
yeah.
a local business. You're an agency that serves them. So folks, we're going to wrap it up right there, and
Can I
we're
just
going
add
to
one thing to that, Mike? Just one
yes, go
quick
ahead.
thing. You think about this, guys, right? If you go and create a video just with some pictures of that business, go to their website, just take some pictures of that business, okay, and then you put the phone number of the business on the actual screen, on the slides, you rank that video in 10 seconds. You literally just create a video. This company is going to be getting loads and loads and loads of calls. You then phone them up a week later and you say, by the way, I'm the one sending you all the business. Do you want to talk? Who's going to say no to that? So that's what you can do it for. Yeah. So just wanted to throw that in as an extra caveat.
Fantastic. Okay, folks.
Yeah.
So here you go. You have on your screen all the information that you need. Paul said that we can put this into Groove Academy. Between you and me, I like to cut out the offer in Groove Academy and just leave it to the content stuff. So I can guarantee you that it'll be available until at least Sunday night at midnight. That I will guarantee you. After that, we don't know, because we don't necessarily want to have the academy filled up with, with offer after offer after offer. We want to give you some good content uh, in there as well. So Paul, I'm going to ask you if you can make us a replay page for those people that had to leave early or got on here late that are saying, hey, can you, I missed the first half. No, don't worry, folks. We will get the replay. We'll post it in Facebook. You will have some time to review the offer. And the next thing is, if you're saying, hey, 997 is cool. I gotta have this. It's a little out of my budget right now. Well, Paul's financing it for you. Just go to tripfunnels.com/Mike. And I don't think you have to capitalize the M, but I don't think it matters. But just double check that. And when you get there, you can do the 3 payments of $397. So you could get started working with Paul today for just $397 today, and then just 2 additional payments after that, starting in 30 days. And then, of course, the question that was asked. You can pay in full, and save, save $200 by doing that option. Or, of course, pay in full and on checkout, choose the PayPal option. And if you live in the United States, PayPal is going to feed you an option to take PayPal credit. That's the option that I suggest for everyone, because you can get started if you qualify for no payments and no interest for 6 months. You just get it today, and you don't even have to pay it off. And you could even pay it off over 2-3 years, right? But if you pay it off within 6 months, there's no interest, and you don't even have to worry about making payments for months. All right. So that's it, folks. Let's put a big 9 in the chat for for actually put us on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, put a 10 in the chat on the job that you did for Paul. Paul, we were excited about you being, the maiden voyage, so to speak, here for Groove Digital Presents. It's a great way to spend a Friday. After the end of the week, we come in on Tuesday. Maybe we'll even have, have a glass of beer on these things, to end out our happy hour on Friday. Whatever the case is, this was a lot of fun. I know it's different time zones for different people. It might even be Saturday for some people in Australia and in Asia. But so that wraps it up, folks. We will post a replay. They're blowing it up in chats there with all 10s and 10s and 10 pluses, 10.25. Oh, wow. They're blowing it up. Thanks, Mike, Joe, Donna, and Paul. They're saying, all right, everybody, put it in your browser, tripfunnels.com/Mike, and keep it in your browser. Make sure you get in there if this is something you want. By Sunday. Now, for everybody else that just came in here to learn, and we just really love the fact that you were engaged and here today. And we love you all. We say that all the time. We appreciate it. Thanks for being on the journey with us. Thank you, Paul, Donna, Joe,
Mike.
everybody. Have a great day, everybody. Take it easy. Bye-bye now.
Bye.